You believe in hell and stuff?
Yeah.
Who do you think's down there?
Who's down there? Martin Luther?
You can't handle big diesel anyway. My meat would have you in the hospital.
This is the type of shit we do, roll up on niggas at the goddamn barbershop.
Nobody's saying you can't own a gun. Nobody's even saying you can't carry a gun. All we're saying is you can't carry a gun in town.
Well, I can't understand none of it. This one begat that one, and that one begat this one, and begat, and lo and behold, someone says some shit to someone or another. Just how retarded are you?
Rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
In certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme, we're too wild, we're too out of control, we're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. I don't want to show you. I didn't have time to change after court today. I made something to eat. I got down here. I prepped the evening show. I prepped the morning show. I got the stream ready to go. So we're doing like a news show today. I'm like a news anchor. America's anchor. Aaron Imholt. I did take out my... Oh shit, I think I might have forgotten my pocket square. Oh boy, I'm such a regular Joe. Welcome to the program. Tied this myself, by the way. Not on the first attempt. I did yell fuck once. But other than, no, I texted it. I texted fuck. SP was like, are you almost ready to go? And I said, just tying my tie. Fuck! I was a little frustrated. You know, it either ends up too long or too short. And you're like, all right, I wrap halfway around on this one, but then I go all the way around on the next one. Or do I go all the way around? Cocksucker. Anyway, welcome to the show. Happy to have you. I'm not in the chat yet because I don't want to see how I'm getting made fun of. I don't want to see all the jokes that are coming my way. But I have, and you want to know what else happened today? Fucking watch battery died. I'm like a poor person today. I got a battery upstairs. I just got to figure out how to pop this thing open without scratching it. Anyway, welcome to the show. It's going to be a great one today. What an eventful day. I mean, I'll talk about the things I can talk about. It's not that I can't talk about anything. It's just that when the judge says, hey, the stuff that happens between the whistles, keep that here. Don't go public. I think that's fair, and I want to respect that. So I can tell you guys some stories from today, but for the most part, the actual, specifics of it, I'm sure it'll come out eventually. I'm happy, finally, this is all drawing to a close. We've, ever since August, and we did very well in that hearing, we were like, let's finish this thing up. Let's go. And it kind of instead, they went the other way and they wanted us to do these settlement conferences to try and figure it out. And that's okay. I get that. I understand it. But in the back of our mind, we were kind of like, God, that August felt good. We felt really good after it. And so, now we're finally at that point where we get to finish that, and that'll be in June. We'll get to finish that. So, I don't want to give too many specifics because I don't want to, a lot of this stuff was discussed when we weren't actually in a hearing. So anything outside of the hearing, I feel fine discussing, but anything inside of it, I want to be respectful. But it's going to be in June. The other one is a little tricky because the party did not show up and they brought a doctor's note that was called into question. The rest of it, I'll leave it there. Let's just say that one's kind of up in the air. But all in all, I am like, man, I walked away from this thing so happy today. Where should we start? So I get there and there's a sentencing hearing. Well, actually, first of all, I had to go to Halberstadt's and get a tie clip because I own about 7 different tie clips and I can't fucking find them. I think when I'm done wearing a suit, I think when I'm done wearing a tie, I think I just take them off and I just chuck them. So one day, it's kind of like cigar cutters. I have the same issue with cigar cutters. I own 7. I can find 1 because I keep it in my car. So I left a little early. I bought a new tie clip. And then I get to the court, and ours hasn't started. There was a sentencing hearing before us. And I found out that apparently if I talk about demonic possession, there's a vengeful guy out there who wants to put me in jail for talking about demonic possession. Let me be very clear about something that I think everybody understood. When I was talking about Father Ripperger, I think people don't give me credit for how nuts and weird I actually am. When I was talking about Father Ripperger this morning and demonic possession and the Catholic Church's belief in it, and as I'm looking it up, as I'm listening to Father Ripperger on Tucker's show, I was talking about this on the show this morning, I honestly believe that when I've made my most terrible decisions in my life as an adult, I believe there may have been demonic possession involved because and this is like throughout, this isn't just like 2 years ago. This is like throughout the last 2 years, until I started going to mass again. I said this morning. I believe I may have been demonically possessed by, if I was a woman, it would be an incubus, but the Catholic Church believes that men are possessed by a succubus demon. Like a Satan demon, like demon. And I honestly believe that because all of this stuff, because all of my dark urges and because of all of my bad behavior and, well, not all of my bad behavior, but because I became such a better person once I started going to mass, they do say that accepting the Eucharist and going to mass are the 2 best ways to drive out demons. That's what the church teaches. So I was talking about that today. And I was talking about Father Ripperger. And all of a sudden I start getting these messages. People are like, you're going to jail for that. I'm like, demons? Really? So I looked at my probation. It turns out no stipulation about talking about Father Ripperger, the Catholic Church, or demons. I know people get a lot of shit for talking about their faith, but that seemed a little excessive to me. So that was a big nothing burger. And then I get to court, and there's somebody there. I'm not going to say who it was. There's somebody there, and they're writing something down. And there's a sentencing hearing going on before ours. And this person writes down on a pad, Nick verbally accosted me outside the courtroom. And I'm like, damn, that's pretty fucked up. And that is an interesting way to start. And then, lawyers go into chambers, all that stuff. Then we start. I'm not going to talk about any of the stuff once we started. All right. We're going to finish this thing up in June. Thank goodness. We're going to finish all the stuff from August. I'm really pumped about that. I'm really excited. After the hearing, it was a little weird. I always talk with my attorney a bunch. I like him. He's a great guy. He does an amazing job. If you're ever looking for anyone for many different facets of the law, Brian Johnson at Heller and Thien does such an amazing job. You should absolutely use him. He's great. Overwork him. Load up his schedule. Use the code word TOE and I get half off. I don't. But Brian does an amazing job. He's a really good attorney. And after the hearing was over, and this wasn't on the record, so I'm not going to talk about anything that happened on the record. After the hearing, a truly troubling thing happened. And between someone saying that like Nick verbally accosted them outside the courtroom, which is, and the demons thing, it's just very odd behavior. He comes up behind my attorney as we're sitting there after everything's been adjourned. And as he's leaving, he turns around. And he can't help it. He goes up to my lawyer and he goes, you should look up, and he's like panicked. He's like, you should look up the statute on harassment and maybe take a CLE on it. And the judge is right there, and he's looking at this, and everybody in the room is just going, what the fuck? And Brian, cool as a cucumber, he goes, I'm sorry, what was that? And he turns around as if Brian's being serious, and he starts to go, you should look up the statute on harassment. And Brian goes, I'm just kidding, I heard you. And then he leaves. Strangest fucking thing, man. Really, really weird. Just a weird day of weird shit. But all in all, I'm very happy with how everything turned out. I'm just happy that it's nearing the end. But as far as the other case goes, there's not much going on, and anything I could say happened between the whistles. And again, I just want to respect the judge on that and not talk about it. It's it's fucking that was weird. That was weird. But I love my attorney so much, man. He's so great. Like the way he did it. It kind of reminded me of like the Opie and Anthony days. When Opie and Anthony would say something to a guy, or the guy would say something, he'd say a bad joke to them, and they go, hey man, I'm sorry, your phone crapped out, what did you say? And the guy would start repeating the joke, and they'd go, we heard you. It kind of reminded me of that. It was very, very funny, but it's very odd behavior to like, I don't even know what that was. It's just, it's a lack of control. And for people asking, no, I did not get called a faggot in court today, which is nice, I guess. That's kind of I save people calling me faggot for my own fans in my own chat. Chad Buzamak with $1 thinks I'm being trolled by someone saying he says fucked up shit in Discord about me. If you can show me proof of that, if you can show me that people saying Chad Buzamak wishes terrible things on you and in other places and private chats, if you can show that that's all a joke and bullshit, I'm more than willing to take a look at it. But yeah, I mean, when I read it, there wasn't a lot of context with it. Maybe the screenshots I looked at, you were kidding. Maybe you were being joking. It was just a little dark. Little dark. We got $2 from Fuck You Dude. He says, this is the level of professionalism I expect for my money. If we don't knock out the goal today, I will never dress nice on this program again. But I will wear shirts and I will wear collars and jackets. As long as if the goal, every show that the goal gets hit, the next show I will put on a collar and jacket. I promise you. Brian says another court date today. Yeah, but I was on the good guy side for this one. Silverwolf with $1 says, don't be too exciting. I'm in my recliner playing Laws Wind Waker on my GameCube and don't want to get up to use my computer. That's GameCube. I'm doing a show in 2002, I believe. Chad Buzamak, you also said, or mentally ill. I'm going with the latter. It could be that. It could be that. Papa Shab says, you look like a faggot. There it is. There it is. No, I just literally, this is not to put on a new uniform or anything else like that. I literally just didn't have time to change today. I did put my jacket back on. I did put that back on for the show. I had taken this off when I got home, but I put it back on for the program. That's all. Oh boy, I'm just going through the chat. Is Aaron selling insurance? No, I'm what is it? A DoorDash? I'm driving DoorDash now. Is that what I'm doing? I do my morning show. I drive DoorDash and then I do this. I'm not saying those guys are out of ideas and they completely bombed this weekend. I'm just letting the evidence speak for itself. That's all. That suit is so ill-fitting. How dare you? Well, you know, I'm losing so much weight. That's all. Hey, Aaron, I found you as Harry Drensky. Hey, Aaron, Twitter found you as Harry Drensky. Why do I not know that name? But it sounds bad. Abel Graham says, Aaron, do you know the fancy tie knots that end in the neck? It would suit you because you're gay. Oh, see, I didn't know. I'm not sure. I don't know how the gays properly dress, but I guess I should figure it out. Aaron, why are you dressed up like Will Herring? Oh, no, that's okay. My teeth are still mine. By the way, there's a rumor that this tooth is gone. That hurts my feelings. I have a really crooked tooth right here, and I'm very sensitive about it. I can't believe people would say that about my dork tooth. Why are people shitting all over my dork tooth? It's been crooked since I was a wee lad. I think I got hit with a baseball or something, or it's just fucked up. Buzamok with $1 says, how am I supposed to prove something that didn't happen? Well, again, show me the shit you sent and show me the context where it's just a joke, and I'll believe you. That's all I'm saying. This is Harry Drensky, the guy who was at the door this morning. I get that. Okay. But it's me, and I'm Batman. Thank you so much. Great job this morning, guys. You got up over 600 memberships. And what really sucks about that is I think we've got one more day of expirations this week. And so it's going to drop us like a little below 600 tomorrow. And then we're going to pop up back over. Like, I'm going to be doing overtime all week at this point. Abel Graham gifting a membership. And I hope David P gets that one. I hope David P gets the membership. That would be really cool. 383 Novocaine says, clip on or did mommy tie it? I tied it myself very much. I'm smarter than Einstein. I can tie my tie in the mirror by myself. All by myself. Buzamok, Aaron Imholt Radio @gmail.com. That's where you can send it. Again, I'm not blocking you. You know, I'm not blocking you. I'm just saying I saw some shit. Swim says, I'm not going to say anything about that just because that happened between the whistles, shall we say. But I don't know if getting Dr. Steve to write you a note that you can't come to court, I don't know if that's going to fly. It's just, there were questions. But again, anything specific, I have to stop there. All right, that was my day today. And again, get a couple of months off from all this stuff, and then we get to drop the hammer. We get to finish this whole thing off in June. I'm excited about that. I'm interested in the comments about my clothing. Das Optic Nerve says that's the weakest double Windsor I've ever seen. Taste Fairy Ialto says Dr. Stevie from TNA. Yes, Stevie Richards. Might as well have been Dr. Stevie from TNA. Yeah. That's pretty funny. A doctor's note to Miss. I know. I felt like I was back in grade school again. Oh, well. We'll see where that goes. All right, kids. Let's get into some shit, huh? I think I've given the masses their gruel of insider information. Again, I'm sorry that I'm not giving you a lot. I just want to mention the things that were on either side of the beginning and end. That's it. All right. Let's talk about some awesome shit if you're a Minnesotan. This is so cool. Like, you have no idea. This was the first basketball, maybe Isaiah Ryder. This was the first basketball player that I was like my superhero basketball player when I was a kid. Became a rookie in 1995 when I was 8 years old. He was my favorite basketball player until he left in 03, 04, 05, I think, my senior year. He was gone from Minnesota. The one and only, the big ticket, Kevin Garnett, Alex Rodriguez got him back to Minnesota. Now, if you don't know, Alex Rodriguez is one of the owners of the Minnesota Timberwolves. He owns the basketball team along with a group that includes Bloomberg, the former mayor of New York, the billionaire Michael Bloomberg, and some other dick. But A-Rod is kind of the front-facing face of the Timberwolves right now. All the players get steroids. It's great. And to explain how this works, Kevin Garnett left Minnesota in 2004, 2005. And then he came back in like 2010, 2011, somewhere around there for a little bit to close out his career as a Timberwolf. And then it was supposed to be, we retire his number. He gets put in like a Timberwolves Hall of Fame. Everything's great. Glenn Taylor kind of denied him for an ownership stake in the team and an office job. He had promised these things to Garnett, and then he backed out on him. And Glenn Taylor, the owner of the Timberwolves at the time, was a massive dick. And he also, I guess, didn't like the way Flip Saunders' death was handled by the Minnesota organization. Kevin Garnett was a huge Flip Saunders guy. And that caused a rift between the organization and its best player ever. A-Rod has been working really, really hard behind the scenes to get Kevin Garnett back to Minnesota in like an ambassador role, eventually maybe an office role, kind of like how Bud Grant had with the Vikings. Anyway, last night at the Minnesota Timberwolves regular season finale, our last game before the playoffs start, KG comes back, and here he is. I'm sorry that this is in one channel. Black people, especially when they're bald, do not age. They just don't get older. I mean, Kevin Garnett looks like he could go out on the court right now. He's got a little gray in his beard. That's it. And there's KG taking his seat. He's back. He's smiling. He's happy. And there he is, man. He's back. KG is back in Minnesota. I hope it's just the beginning. If you grew up in Minnesota in the 2000s, you loved Kevin Garnett, you watched Kevin Garnett, it's so cool to have him back. And as 9/11 Swim says in the chat, nothing is impossible. Damn right. No, I mean, it's not great that he said that when he was a Boston Celtic winning an NBA championship, but that's fine. 9/11 Swim says the Onions are printing toe dubs lately. Suffer, Dr. Steve. I mean, why you would like, right? Anyway, look, we can all ask questions. 9/11 Swim says that's Sprewell, the choking. Look, that Sprewell team with Cassell and Garnett and all those guys, that was an incredible team. Troy Hudson, I think, was on that squad too. They were really good. The problem was we wanted to run it back the next year. Sprewell wanted too much money. I think we offered him like $15 million a year, I want to say. And Sprewell rejected us saying, come on, I have a family to feed. That was his quote. Latrell Sprewell, when we offered for him to come back to the Timberwolves for the 03-04 season, he said, I can't, $15 million, I have a family to feed. So I want to say he signed with the Knicks, but I could be wrong. Let's see if Latrell's got any money. Let's see if he's feeding his family. Net worth, $150,000 to $1 million after earning $100 million during his 13-year career. Financial mismanagement, legal issues, home foreclosures, and the seizure of his yacht, Milwaukee's Best. He named it after a white trash beer. Severely depleted his fortune following his retirement in 2005. No way. He is done. Oh, I'm sorry. That contract in 2004 was for 3 years, $21 million. It was $7 million a year. And he said he couldn't take that contract because, quote, he had a family to feed. Couldn't, and he's not going to feed that family on $7 million a year. You got to be out of your mind. And Mountain Jew says, Aaron, he does have 20 kids. All right. Swim says, apparently Sprewell moved back to Milwaukee and goes to the yuppie bars and doesn't pay. Well, I can see why he doesn't pay. He's fucking broke. Poor Sprewell. Sprewell ain't got no money. Flat broke Sprewell. Salvatore says, I'm not a homosexual, but I've seen A-Rod in person, and he is maybe the greatest looking man I've ever seen. You want to know something? When I read that, I thought it said Aaron for a minute, and I was about to feel so good about myself, but not the case. Jim Turner says, can we get Stephon Marbury back too? I think him and Garnett still don't like each other. That they both took that breakup pretty hard. Pretty hard. I think Marbury still posts pictures of Garnett's feet from time to time. Sorry. Yeah, Sprewell. Yeah, people also know Latrell Sprewell from being the guy who choked the shit out of his coach. Latrell Sprewell had a coach in Golden State, I want to say. Check me if I'm wrong on that. PJ Carlissimo. And no matter what PJ Carlissimo did, the rest of his career, he was always going to be the coach that got the shit choked out of him by Latrell Sprewell. They were at a practice. Somebody got disrespected. And Latrell literally strangled his coach. I think there's video of it. Don't you remember? This is like one of those Mandela effect things. I feel like I've seen Sprewell choke PJ Carlissimo, but I have a feeling if I search it, that won't exist. Latrell Sprewell choke. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything where he choked it. I feel like I saw it where they were like at the free throw line and Sprewell lunged at his throat and they pulled each other, or they were pulled away from each other. Sprewell chokes Warriors coach PJ Carlissimo. What really happened?
We gotta ask about the Latrell Sprewell.
You gotta ask about it. If you don't ask about it, you're an axhole.
PJ Carlissimo altercation.
There was a buildup. PJ, who's a great guy, you know, off the court and what have you, do anything for you to give you the shirt off his back, was a different animal when he was coaching, right? So he referred to everybody as motherfucker this, motherfucker that. So Spree was an all-star, you know, had represented the Warriors. PJ had just come over from coaching Portland, and prior to that, he was a head coach at Seton Hall. So college coaches, completely different animal than NBA, right? And so he brought some of that college shit to the NBA, which don't fly. He had some, I think, personal issues with Sprewell.
That is true. Like, you go from college where you're just like, you're rah-rah for these college kids and they'll run through a wall for you, to talking to multimillionaires who just don't want to put up with your shit. People were worried about Pete Carroll when he came from USC. They're like, well, Pete Carroll's coming up to the NFL. Is that rah-rah, chewing on the gum, chomping, you know, super into it Pete Carroll thing going to fly at the professional level? And I hate Pete Carroll, so I was really hoping no. And you got to admit, it fucking worked. He did a good job.
Because Sprewell wore the cornrows, the French braids. Sprewell didn't adhere to the dress code. Now, he worked and he was good. And so there's nothing that you could say about, you know, his work ethic and everything else. When we got on the plane or on the bus to go wherever, he wore what he wanted to wear, usually sweats and some slides. And he would have his headphones on listening to his music. And that bugged PJ. PJ would always say something to him about what he had on, about his way his hair was braided. So
you know, I actually break from kind of the rest of the NBA or like sports fans on this. You play basketball. You're not a fucking accountant. You're not an attorney. Wear whatever you want. I don't need my basketball players wearing Armani suits when they show. I mean, I kind of expect a professional athlete who's like always on and, you know, running hard for 48 minutes a night and everything. I expect them to kind of wear leisurely wear out in public.
Sprewell one time took off his headphones and he said, listen, man, I talked to my agent. Y'all can find me $500 if I don't adhere to the dress code. We got 41 away games. So take 500 times 41, that's 20,000, whatever, and take that shit out of my check and leave me the fuck alone. I'm going to dress how I want to dress.
See, you know what? I like that. I like that he said that. Leave me the fuck alone. I'll dress how I want to dress. Here's 20 grand. Find me. Now, judging by the fact that Latrell Sprewell's worth 150 grand today after earning $100 million in the NBA, maybe he should have held on to a couple of those 20 grands. I feel like he maybe was one of those guys who lived a lifestyle long after he wasn't being paid for that lifestyle. So like he's throwing money at problems until all of a sudden he reaches back to grab another handful of money and there's none left.
And so we're in practice one day. Me, Muggsy Bogues, and Sprewell are shooting at a basket. PJ comes in. We're just doing 3-man shooting, and he just comes down. And he's like, "You got to give me more than that." To Spree, and Spree was a worker. So he didn't say nothing. He kept shooting. PJ went away. He came back a couple minutes later. He's like, if that's all you gonna give me, get the fuck out of my gym. He said, look, man, you say one more thing to me, I'm gonna fuck you up. So
I'm having a hard time not liking Latrell Sprewell in this story. He's an all-star. He's kicking ass. He's doing awesome. He just wants to wear his sweats and slides. Here's 20 grand. Leave me the fuck alone. He wants to shoot around in practice. And now his like little white coach is going, you motherfucker, you work harder. Hey, man, you say one more thing to me, I'm going to fuck you up.
He came back and said something again. And that time when he came back, Spree just took the ball. He just dropped it. He just walked over to PJ, grabbed him around the neck. So to be honest, the other players, because of how PJ used to talk to him, was like, fuck it, go ahead. Choke the shit out of his ass, right? And the assistant coaches and everybody, they all ran over trying to get Spree off of him. And he was like a crazed animal at that time. So he never let go of PJ's neck. He was kicking the assistants that was trying to get him loose. They finally pried him loose.
What an
so
animal.
The security came in and they kicked him out. The Warriors got to put their spin on what happened. But we got a gag order that we couldn't talk about it. So what happened was they ended up suspending Spree for the rest of the season. All the endorsements he had, they dropped him. They kind of painted him as the villain.
Wait, hold on, December? And the season ends in April. They suspended the motherfucker for 5 months. 5/7 of it's a 7-month season, and oh shit.
And like we didn't condone what he did, but it's two sides to every story.
Well, and Spree's side is, I did say, if you say something to me again, I'm going to fuck you up. I mean, in fairness, he gave the guy a warning. So, I mean, can you really be... Yeah, spoiler alert, you can't choke your coach. You can't. Would you... numero uno Josh Denny fan with $1 says, would you generally assume if a guy is yelling at the opposing party's lawyer in front of the judge, it means the outcome was very much not what that person was expecting, wanted, and had been predicting? I don't know. I don't think there was any way. I don't think it was supposed to go any differently than it was. This is kind of how I expected it to be today. I mean, I've wanted to finish that. My preference would have been we come back the very next week and we finish that August thing. I felt like we were really doing well. But also, I believe in listening to the judge and doing what he says. And that's what we did. The judge said, I want this. And we said, okay, we can accommodate you. Here's the dates. And we've been patient. And I'm glad we were patient. And now this happens in June. So, yeah, I don't know what other outcome you could want. I'll say this. It's just between yelling at people outside the courtroom and thinking that if I talk about demons, demonic possession, I talk about my Catholic faith, I should go to jail for it. Between that and then yelling at the opposing attorney in front of the judge. Yeah, I mean, it's weird behavior, but then again, so is showing feet pictures of another guy and talking about his genitals for 2 years. I mean, it's fucking weird behavior, if I do say so myself. So yeah, I don't know. I can't. This is one. I don't like getting in the head of other people and saying what they're thinking, but it's odd. $1 from numero uno Josh Denny fans says, on a completely unrelated topic, I was watching some strange gathering where people had uncovered an old clip where you said something that made you seem gay. I was shocked, I tell you. Shocked. Yeah, I heard about that too. I heard they were like, oh man, they had this big get for their big failed event this weekend where people were asking for refunds. And I said, oh yeah, what was their big get? And they said, they found a clip where you sound gay. And I'm like, oh, you mean like Friday's show, right? And they're like, no. You mean like Thursday's show, right? No. Tuesday, right? Because I'm pretty sure this audience, I believe Chad Buzamok and King Kong Dong have pretty much made their chat careers clipping me saying gay shit. So, I was talking to somebody before the show today, and I was like, I think they're out of ideas, and I think it's over. I think my death, by the end of Steel Toe was supposed to come about a long time ago, and the gasoline is out of the tank. So now it's just kind of, guys, we got to make shit up as we go. I mean, it's kind of a catch-22. If you walk away from the steel toe stuff, like all the steel toe stuff is done. If you walk away from the steel toe stuff, you're going to go broke. You're not going to be able to make your house payment. Multiple people. But if you keep going with steel toe, it's just going to seem more petty and dumb and awful. There was one person who went there who told me that, Aaron, it was weird. I may not like you, but they played clips of you shitting on them. And like, they didn't even have anything funny to say. They just tried to defend themselves from you shitting on them. And I'm like, you do know you don't have to play that shit on your show, right? You don't have to play me being funny and, you know, just teasing you. Like, I don't know. There were a lot of people asking for refunds and all that. Yikes, man. That's, that might be the last one, but I know that just by me saying that, they now have to have another one. So that's kind of, to know you have that power and, you know, try not to abuse it. Nomo says that Dabbleverse has risen you to legendary status, the stuff of mythology. And I don't know if I deserve it. I really don't. But I'll take it. Hobo Chili Recipe says the guy with the credit card from Men's Warehouse. Hey, you're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it. All right, let's continue on. Thank you guys very much. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. Throw a couple of bucks our way. There's another couple of bucks. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, etc. We appreciate it. Oh, I haven't been updating the memberships. I can't be... Oh, no, I did. Okay, 99 away from 700. $1. Unnerving Brain says, imagine doing an entire show about someone that isn't even interesting. No offense, Aaron. I mean, that hurts, but in a good way. Like, I appreciate that. I know it's being said in support. It still hurts. Hobo, I needed Hobo tonight. He says, you look like you sell couch insurance. Well, you know, Hobo, especially if you have little ones running around, that couch is susceptible to spills and all other kinds of liquids and fluids. You never know what could happen. You're getting up there, Hobo. Pretty soon, you're going to not be able to hold it every time you need to go to the bathroom. It's good to know that you've got some protection with that piece of furniture that you use the most. Fuck, I am really good at that. Maybe I should be a couch insurance salesman. Shit. Goat Choker says, suit all next week. What should we do? What should we name the price for suits all this week or all next week? You know what? 300. I'll say 300. I'll do suits for the next week. From Monday to Monday. I'll do suits at $300. Hold on. Let me read numero unos. No. But yes, like now it's just finishing what we started in August. So yeah, everything leading up to that on his end is done. Yes. Yes, sir. Oh, virus threat protection, Windows Defender summary. It's fine. Let's let my computer rot. We'll be okay. 911 Swim says, any comments on Granny and the tranny toe? I don't know what that means. Feed me the details and I'll give you an opinion. I'll give you a completely uneducated opinion. Honky says $400 if you wear $5 gas station shades too. I feel like you're setting me up for something there. Papa Shab says, how much to throw on an armband with a swastika on it? For Rumble Friday, $500. For Rumble Friday. Not on YouTube though. Never. All right, let's go from swastika armbands to Jesus, apparently. Unnerving Brain says, Granny took it up the butt. Is Granny still around? What happened to Granny? I feel lost. 911 Swim says they paid a poor hillbilly $8,000 to have sex with a transsexual at Hackamania. You're saying Granny? You're saying Granny got paid $8,000 to have sex with a Well, I will say that would make it the most successful and money-drawing event at the whole weekend, so that's positive. Good for Granny. I look, I don't know if that's true, so I'm not going to comment on it like it is. That's fucking insane. 09 Canyon says $8,000 in cash. I mean, no, eight grand is not enough. $8,000, you can't wash that off with $8,000, my friend. I'm sorry. There's no way. Hulkamash says, talk about Jesus in that suit. You could be a mega church pastor. I don't want to be a mega church pastor. Numero uno with $1 says, can you have the next hearing on Zoom and we can give a rousing "we toe boys we can't lose" at the end of it? I believe the other party has specifically asked no Zoom, so I don't think that's going to happen. Boozmog says, Aaron would have done it for $100 and a gas station pizza. Which gas station? I mean, no. Fuck. I always get that one wrong. You know, after a long day of morning shows and Uber Eats, I just can't answer gay shit right. What I meant to say was I would never do that. Papa Shab says, I don't think there's any amount of money you could pay me. Let's analyze this. Let's break it down and let's see if there's a number. So it's a trans person. All right, help me out, chat. Trans male or trans female? Let me know. And then that'll establish the number. TP Granny says Aaron is going to analyze this. Analyze, it's different. Unnerving Brain says, oh, there's a number. All right, Papa Shab, Unnerving Brain disagrees with you. He says there is a number. No, core doesn't matter. Taste Fairy Ialto says, how was his or her core? Hulkamasha Baby says, guy to girl trans, $5 million. So he's got guy parts, but he's got girl titties. I think 5 mil is a solid number. I don't want to say more because then that makes Hulkamasha Baby look cheap. And I don't want to say less because that makes me look gay. I think 5 million is a good jumping off point or jumping in point. Am I right? Because you got to go in the ass. Okay, how much for them to give it to you as a girl? The boobs are going to be on your back. It's going to be like a haircut, but with a dick in your ass. Sorry, YouTube. That was vulgar. Throw me a number on that. It's guy to girl, but you have to take, and the boobs are going to be on your back like a haircut. Give me a number on that. I have a feeling that it's going to take more than 5. Numero uno with $1 says Google Meet, Microsoft Teams. If the other party is anti-Zoom, surely we can negotiate. Google Meetup, yeah. No, I don't think so. Brett McCart says, name your number. I've played this game too many times. Too many times I've played this game. I'm not going first. Mikey Two Milk says 69. What do you mean, 69 million? Or that's just what you prefer? Hulkamasha Baby says, giving it to you, 50 mil. I mean, yeah, because it's going to hurt, dude. I assume. No, wait. Hold on. No, hold on a minute. I mean, I could imagine it's going to hurt. It's probably going to hurt. I wouldn't know how much it would hurt. So 50 million, boy, to take it. Yeah. I'll go 30. I'll underbid. Sold. I'd say you take it 30, tax-free, bish. And you take 10 and you meet a therapist every day at the same time every morning. You take 15, you put that in an investment account, and that's going to be your annual salary. The 8 to 9% you make on that out of that 15. And then you keep 5 for yourself to live your life. Live on pay-per-view, someone says, only if I get a piece of the action. I mean, no. I meant no. Why am I being such a whore today? Nomo says 30 million and never look yourself in the mirror again. Yeah. Numero uno with $1 says, is it open to the public? I'll just come audit the hearing like a college course. I don't know. Talk to the county. They'll figure that out for you. All right. So we did male to female. Hulkamash says 5 million to hit it. 50 million to let them hit it. All right, now let's go girl to guy. So 9/11 Swim says, instead of dunking on Hackamania, Toe tells Granny he was underpaid. I mean, he kind of was. $8,000, but then again, if you're the one paying, like, you're trying to get a deal, right? Girl to guy. So it's got all the girl parts, but it's got a beard. You know, it's had the testosterone injections and whatnot. Hulkamash says same numbers, 5 million, but they can't really give it to you. Like, what are they going to do? Just like clam bump you? It's Mountain Juice says, what about, female with a strap on? So this is like a cisgender female. How the fuck did we get on it? This is Granny's fault. Cisgender female with a strap on. I don't want anything in my butthole, man. That's a hard one. I can't go anything lower than 30 because it's just so life-changing. Like, I've never had anything in my asshole. I haven't even put one of my own fingers up there, you know, when I'm feeling squirrely. I've never had anything in my asshole, and I feel like you talk about your crossing the Rubicon moments. That's a crossing the Rubicon moment. Veldrain with $1 says, do a small percentage of people doing trans woman would not be gay, but you know every night is the scene from Ace Ventura. Yeah, Finkel is Einhorn. So even if other people don't know, you know. You know. Is Bapa Shab pressing X to doubt? I've never... People are saying bullshit in the chat. I've never had anything in my butthole. Ever. I have a completely virgin butthole, and I feel those of you lashing out against me so much are people who don't have virgin buttholes. I've never had anything in my ass. Chad Buzamok says, Work David Chandler was one of the biggest investors in it and said, I was going to give this to the toe. Instead, he wanted Granny to butt fuck a trans person. Oh, damn you, David Chandler. 9/11 Swim says, these are the trans. I don't know which ones. And I don't have prosciuttis. It's bursitis. And now we're actually pretty sure it's a torn rotator cuff. So, yay. Oh, God. Oh, my. What is this you sent me? Transverse Network. We're checking it. Oh, they were at Hackamania. That tracks. I will say the people I saw going there, it was all just big, fat, gross. Like you could smell every picture from that event. No, there's not enough money in the world. Is that one of the people that Granny had a romp with? Those are dudes, right? 100%. How does anyone at that event get to make fun of that Ava chick? These people are way worse. No, because they're trying. Anyway, I don't, no, thank you. I'm going to say this. Not enough money, not a chance in the world, no fucking way. The only trans I would consider would be that Kaylee lady or guy. Whatever the pronouns are. That's the only one I would consider. Papa Shab says, you could just shoot me out of a cannon onto concrete. I'd rather be turned to goop. Yeah. Honky says, wait, Pretty Antisocial had a reunion? Oh, God, I saw a picture of her on Twitter. Stick with the filter. You know, I wouldn't say anything about this, but she like makes a stream out of saying that women are ugly and haggard and then saying, I don't say anything bad about women, and then proceed to say bad shit about women. Kind of that Southern cowardice that a lot of people had. Those filters are absolutely necessary. I mean, there's some age on those tires, man. Bad. I mean, just the face is chopped and wrinkled and then isn't she the one who always goes, I go to the gym, I work out, and you're on the wrong machine. It's not you kind of got kind of a Michelin Man thing going on, and it's not important. I don't want to be mean to nobody. But I don't think it's kind of like everybody else in that world. They're all hideous and they insist on talking about the looks of others. There, but for the grace of God, go we. Chad Buzamok says, Aaron would for offer I said earlier, but in deal says he won't share pizza with them afterwards. Hey, you got to drive a hard bargain for anyone to respect you. All right, guys, let's get after it. We've got other stuff to talk about today, like Trump and Jesus. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, and throw a couple of bucks at the toe. Let's see if we can't get some shit done tonight. Memberships are great. Everything else is fun. Just get really irresponsible. So Trump did that meme as Jesus, right? This one. And people got mad. I didn't like it. I thought it was in really poor taste. I thought it was really shitty and a scummy thing for him to do. And look, I'm probably biased because I haven't been a big fan of his for a couple of months now at least. Probably started with the lack of Doge cuts in the big beautiful bill and then continued with the Epstein shit. I think the Epstein, you can go back and watch the shows, but I'm pretty sure that I was off the Trump train during the Epstein stuff. But the Iran thing, I mean, that was the final nail in the coffin. So I'm an America First guy. I'm not a MAGA guy. And there was that rupture and that split. This Jesus picture really pissed me off because it was at the time the Pope was not even really giving him shit. The Pope was just saying, hey, war is bad. Let's end the war. Let's all sit down and talk to each other and not kill innocent people. That would be good. And then Trump's like, the Pope's a piece of shit. The Pope wouldn't be shit without me. Fuck Pope Leo and all this stuff. And then he posts this picture. And it's hard not to take this as dude's trying to portray himself as Jesus. You got the angels up in the sky and everything else. Well, word must have gotten around that people were shitting on him hard for this one. And then he took it down. And when they asked him about him taking it down, he had this to say. Look, you tell me if you buy it. And if you buy it, I'll leave it alone. But if you don't, we can talk about it. Here we go.
Mr. President, did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as the doctor.
Let's take another look. Does that look like him as a doctor or him as Jesus? Because, if it's you as a doctor, what are all these angels doing up here? I don't want to go to jail talking about angels and demons. My goodness. What are these angels doing up here? If you're just a doctor and the light in your hands and you putting hands on people and healing them and then the sunlight coming through the cloud. I mean, bro, really? I thought it was me as a doctor.
And me, I did.
What was your name? Dr. Jesus? Be honest.
It, and I thought it was me as the doctor and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So
really, bro? I mean, it was right after you fought with the Pope. You had a bitch fight with the Pope. And then you post this, and I'm sorry, it looks super Jesus-y.
I just heard about it, and I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed
I don't know, maybe the angels in the sky, you putting your hands on someone and healing them, you having a giant glowing orb of light in your other hand, you wearing a Jesus-y schmuck vest thing, everyone looking up at you in awe and wonderment as though they've just seen the Savior risen from the grave. Other than that, yeah, totally looks like a doctor, bro. Dr. J from Bethlehem.
To be me as a doctor, making people better. And I do make people better. I make people a lot better.
Yeah, like Iranian schoolgirls. I hear you really transform them.
An example, the 11,000, I understand your husband's going through treatment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's going through some very serious cancer treatment, so
yes, sir.
This goes a long way.
Yes, sir, it sure does.
Yeah.
So he brought a DoorDash worker in. I missed the call. I was on a different shift. That really sucked. Why would you say something so stupid that I now get to dunk on you forever for that silliness? I missed the shift. That woman came in, DoorDashed him McDonald's, and then he tried to use her as a political prop. I don't know if we have this for tonight's show or tomorrow morning's show, but he tried to get her to talk shit about trans people. He's like, what do you think about trans kids and stuff? She's like, I don't have any. Because she's like, I'm not losing my fucking DoorDash gig because I had to say something on the White House lawn about trans people. I think she had it right. But I don't know, man. It's me as a doctor, bro. All right. Patient on a bed. I'll go with that. Nurse right there. Okay. But everyone is looking up at him. Again, he's got the robe and the vest thing on. He's putting hands that are glowing. Doctors don't do that. And then he's got glowing light in his other hand. There's angels up here. One of them's in like battle fatigues. And the sun's shining behind them. I don't know, man. I've been to the doctor a few times. Doctors don't act like that. That's all. I just, maybe we're all wrong. Maybe he's got it right and we're all full of shit. But I don't know. I'm going to, again, press X to doubt on Trump was being a doctor. $1 from numero uno Josh Denny fan says, do you think it's odd Cumia is claiming he will sue Stuttering John but didn't sue his ex Melissa for saying she found he had saved a 14-year-old girl's Amazon wish list to buy her stuff because she's cute and a fan? Well, didn't he also message an underage girl that he wanted to invite her over and kiss her? That was fucked up. And then there's also the that Melissa also said on a podcast that trans woman, that Sue Lightning, was in Anthony's bathroom, and then all those pictures got deleted and everything else. And dude, if you fuck the trans woman, you fuck the trans woman. Like, his best friend married one. Nobody's gonna people will give you shit for it, but just have a sense of humor. Now, the 14-year-old stuff and the self-cutting girl and all that, that's troubling. That's fucked up. Happy Wawa customer. Well, the other thing is he can't sue Stuttering John for that. He can't sue Stuttering John at all. Nothing John said is false. Again, a pedophile is someone who says and thinks fucked up sexual things about children. It has nothing to do with action. And if you say things like, all he'd have to do is play the clip of Anthony going, if there was no law to stop myself, I'd stop at 13. Boom. Done. It's over. Happy Wawa customer. Thanks for gifting the membership. Veldrain with $1 says, Granny does Gorlock the Destroyer and then begs to be destroyed. $1 from 383 Novocaine says, a lot of people at the plaza were there for Sin City Showdown, a huge demolition derby. Oh, wait, probably couldn't tell the difference. The demo derby people were nicely dressed. That's the difference. Numero uno with $1 says, do you think Trump could cleanse Cumia of his sex demon possession by laying hands on him? Perhaps. Cure him of that demonic possession by just putting those holy Trump hands on him, He makes people feel better. Another $1 coming in from, numero uno again, $1 at a time tonight. Says, nothing wrong with banging a trans. Some people get paid good money for that, allegedly. Yeah, him and Granny, right? Him and Granny can bang, him and Granny banging tranny. It has its own rhyme. 265 of you checking out the show right now. Thank you very much. I ask you kindly to hit like, hit subscribe, and hit follow if you'd like to. We appreciate that. Over 260. Getting to 300 would be awesome, but hey, who am I to ruffle feathers? $1 from numero uno says, do you think every guy on Chris Hansen's show has a defamation case? Turns out they were all talking to adult men catfishing them. Yeah, give it a shot. We'll see how that goes. Give it a shot. No, it's all about who you think you're talking to. That's the thing, because people used to ask during those To Catch a Predator episodes, they'd be like, well, wait a minute, technically he's not. If you believe it's an underage person by law and you're talking to them that way, you're fucked. Not literally, figuratively. Das Optic Nerve with $1 says, Aaron prefers overaged suits. I didn't have time to change after court, and I thought I would dress nice for you folks. And this is what I get for it. The book of Deuteronomy says, Aaron, you were right about the Dabbleverse. All pedos. You're not so bad after all. Look, thank you. I appreciate that. But you understand there's a phrase for that. It's called damned by faint praise. Meaning you've given me a compliment, but it's wrapped in people who are sewer level shit. But you know what? Thank you. And I appreciate it. And thank you all of you for your contributions to the program. Very kind of you. you're moving in the right direction. Let's do this a buck at a time tonight. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants, gifted memberships. All of that, we appreciate it. Okay, are we all caught up? I think we are. We can go on to the next thing. Okay, we have one last Jesus thing.
President Trump.
And then we're done. Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly is bitchy and wild these days. Donald Trump pissed all over her and Tucker and Alex Jones and a bunch of other people that used to like Trump. Candace Owens, you know, he used to love them. When they were talking nice about Trump, he thought they were the cat's ass. Now that this war has started and it's not going very well and they're criticizing him for it, saying he's going back on his promises, now he's attacking those people and he's buddying up to all the people who 10 years ago were on the side that was called Never Trump. Shapiro, Levin, Rubio, Cruz, Huckabee, all those guys. So does that mean that Tucker and Megyn have changed, or does that mean that maybe you've changed when you look at who you're hanging out with? This is Megyn Kelly's thoughts on the Trump portraying himself as Jesus thing.
Has picked up a new feud with Pope Leo the 14th.
What a fucking wild world we live in. Hey, our president is feuding with someone. Oh, is it the prime minister of Hungary? Is it Vladimir Putin? Who's he feuding with now? The Pope. Okay. Why is he feuding with the Pope? Well, the Pope says we should be nice to everybody and we shouldn't kill children and war is really bad. Really? Yeah, that's what he said. And you're saying that we want to be on the opposite side of that argument. Yeah, that's what Trump said. Well, fuck. Okay.
Seems like a great time to start a feud with a Catholic Pope.
What are you going to do? Start a fight with the Lutheran Pope? Ayo.
Be the first to tell you the Pope has been critical of this war. I'm Catholic, obviously.
What up, Megyn?
Of this war. And as he's been critical of it, it occurred to me that it was just a matter of time before President Trump would lash out at him. And he did. So it wasn't great.
Pope John Paul II was against the Iraq War. You didn't see George W. Bush going, the Pope can suck my dick. You didn't see Dick Cheney on TV going, well, I'm gonna put the Pope in a headlock. I'm gonna give him a swirly, and he'll fall in line. And now Trump is out there just going, the Pope is fucking gay. If I'm being honest, he's probably a homo.
It was predictable, and no Catholic loves this, but you could see it coming. And it's hard to say that Trump is completely out of line, because whenever he gets attacked, whether it's by a journalist or a talking head or a pope, he punches back. All right. You could,
whether it's, a journalist, the Pope, a 9-year-old girl, Trump will fuck you up. You know, one time I saw Trump, he visited an elementary school. Some 4th grader gave him some lip and he said, your mom's a dyke. And I said, whoa, Donald, we don't need to be doing all that.
Definitely question the wisdom of doing this. With, President Trump leads a nation of 330 million people. Pope Leo leads about 1.4 billion Catholics across the world.
All right, but don't do this, because this is the thing we give Israel shit for. This dual loyalty thing. I don't have a patriotism towards the Vatican City. The Vatican City is not my country. Christ said, my kingdom is not of this world. There's a difference between my patriotic love of my country, which I do have, even though my president sucks, but my president's always sucked. And I've still loved my country. And my government is corrupt and degenerate and satanic, but I love my country and the people in it and the people in my community. My spirit, my soul belongs to the church. And I think both of those things can be true. But you can't be just like these Zionists. You can't be just like these Jewish guys who are backing everything Israel wants to do while living in America. That's dual loyalty. I don't believe in that.
But President Trump doesn't care. He doesn't, and he wouldn't even care if the majority of Americans were Catholic, which they're not. But he would. This is what.
Depending on how you count it, we're the largest denomination. They put evangelicals as one group. And they're like 25%, and Catholics are like 22%. Sure. But if you have to break them up into different groups, then we're number one.
He does. If he perceives you as coming at him, he will come at you. So he lashed out last night at the pontiff on Truth Social, writing in part, quote, Pope Leo is weak on crime and terrible.
I love that. Like the Pope's supposed to put out campaign commercials. When Pope Leo caught a thief in his garden, he chopped off his right hand. Pope Leo doesn't suffer shit. Pope Leo, tough on crime, tough on spirit. Pope Leo is bad on immigration. Is he? I mean, between the two of you, they're the only organization who's built the wall that they said they would. So, I mean, the Catholic Church said they'd build a wall around their city. Did it long time ago. You said you would build a wall just on the southern border of this country. How's that working out for you? So Megyn Kelly taking the president. Look, I just don't think fighting with the Pope is an exceptional look. That's all. I think it's a bad look to fight with the Pope. $1 from Dan Vicious. He says, are Pokemon adults as concerning as Disney adults? Boy, that is a great question. That's good. Pokemon adults are bad news. And like I have a story tomorrow for the morning show about like an argument about Pokemon cards leading two adults to shoot each other. But Disney adults, you're talking about the adults, like adult couples or like Lindsey Graham's, but younger, going to Disney by themselves or with another adult. That is fucked up. Going to Disney is for your children. The only thing is, though, like taking a family, like I have 3 kids. So if SP and I go, you're talking about 6 people. That's insane. What is a day pass? What is an all park day pass to Disney cost? 1 day all park ticket between $200 and $250 for an adult. So let's say $200. That's 2, 4. So that's like $1,200 for everybody to go just to get in the door at every park. One park, $119. Still, might as well get all of them. I'm going to say Disney adults are worse than Pokemon adults. I'll tell you why. A Pokemon adult is gross, but they also like flip those Pokemon cards. So they'll like make money off of it. So you can kind of turn a blind eye to how gross they are. Disney adults are doing it for the lulz. Disney adults are doing it because like, we just love Mickey and we love Disney so much. And it's like, all right, Count Chocula, it's time to give her up. So yeah, I'm going to say Disney adults are way more troubling than Pokemon adults. Not way more, but they're head and shoulders above. $1 from numero uno Josh Denny fan. He says, what did you think Trump's grand plan was back when he ended the Iran nuclear deal? He was just doing that because Israel wanted him to do it. I don't think he has any plan on any of this shit. I think Israel wants to do it. I think a lot of his Zionist cabinet members want him to do it. They kiss his ass. They tell him how great and brilliant and brave he is, how he's doing they use shit against him. Like Biden would have never done this. Obama would have never done this. They didn't have the guts. And he's like, yeah, fuck Obama, fuck Biden. And they gas him up and he does all this shit. And then they go, you're a hero, President Trump. And he buys it. He believes it. So I don't think he has a plan for any of this stuff. I think he's waiting for these guys to tell him what's next. Dan Vicious with $1 says the papacy and emperors have butted heads since the 3rd century. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. $1 from On a Wall says, check out the stats. I'll take a look in just a second. Papa Shab says, I like how he's calling out the Pope like the Pope's running against him. It's silly, right? Hobo Chili Recipe says they did that because they were tired of Rome getting sacked. That's true. That's very true. Odoacer, Alaric the Visigoth, Attila. By the way, the Pope at the time of Attila the Hun invading Rome had a private meeting with Attila. And nobody ever said what they talked about or what was discussed, but Attila the Hun left. He was going to sack Rome and destroy it. And he met with the Pope, and the Pope said something to him, promised him something, told him something. We'll never know. Attila left Rome without sacking it. By the way, My Lost Interest got that gifted membership from Happy Wawa customer. Aaron would fight the Pope over a slider. It's not true. I don't even like sliders. What would you? I like a full-size burger. People in the chat are saying Disney adults are creepier. Kraken Slappin says fat Disney chicks complaining they can't fit into the rides are the worst. If you can't fit into a ride, get off the ride and realize that the problem is you. Lose some weight, come back next year. That should be a motivator for you. Lots of older Disney memorabilia is worth lots of money, says Mountain Jews. All right, then go collect it. But like going to the parks and stuff, come on. McBuster says Lindsay was wandering around drunk for 3 days, gawking at men's asses and kids. Probably got pegged by Goofy. He said probably. That's not actionable. Is there a chance the track could bend? I don't know what that means. Pope Leo. Was it Pope Leo the Great that talked Attila? Who talked Attila out of sacking Rome? Pope Leo the Great. Yep, Pope Leo the First. One of the best popes ever. Obviously, St. Peter, I think, has to be considered the best. He was the first. The Pope who canonized the Bible, Pope I don't want to fuck this up. Pope who canonized the Bible at at Nicaea. Pope Damasus. Damasus? What the fuck? It's Dumas. Pope Damasus the First. Solidified the biblical canon at the Council of Nicaea. Council of Rome. I'm sorry. Council of Rome is where the Bible was canonized. That is on me. Isn't the legend that Attila the Hun saw the vision of an army on angels behind the Pope and chose not to attack? Yeah, he's probably on cod or some dumb barbarian drugs, more than likely. Also, one of my favorite popes, Pope Urban II. Crusade decided to fight back against those gosh darn muzzies. Some people say Pope John II. Here's my problem with Pope John II. He had Joseph Ratzinger, who later became Pope Benedict. And Benedict was the guy who was the head of the office of the Protectorate of the Faith, the Protectorate of the Doctrine of the Faith. And they say that he was the guy who, while Pope John Paul II was the Pope, he was all the priests who had accusations against them, they were moving them from diocese to diocese. So that, to me, that's a black mark against Pope John Paul II. He did a lot of good stuff, but that's when I left, was around that time. Grand Poobah says Urban II was great. He fucking ruled, man. Worst Pope? The Pope who was the Pope during the Protestant Reformation with Martin Luther. He was corrupt as all shit. All right, guys, hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. Let's go. Throw a couple of memberships in. I'm liking this $1 at a time stuff. Somebody said, Aaron, what did they say on this $1 contribution? On a wall says, Aaron, check out the stats.
Is it their channel?
Okay, let's check out the stat. Oh, my God, thank you for time-stamping it. 52 minutes into a Keno Casino clip. Let's see.
Were dying and their grifts were failing in order to deflect heat from his own failing business and excuse his own failures. Because now nobody has any incentive to support you because you're.
I'm sorry. You're going to have to timestamp this better. I have no idea what they're talking about. Oh, Alyssa. Are you talking about Alyssa Clips views? 86,000 views for Alyssa Clips? Damn. Nice. I was too busy. I didn't put up a clip today. I'm breaking my streak. You want to know what my quartering clip did? Where I'm saying all of this shit is immature and gay? Whopping 631. Ooh. That is not another win for the toe, my friend. Not another win for the toe. 86,000. Very, very good. All right, Howard Stern is back in the news. This is good, right? Not really. Howard's in the news because he's being sued by one of his former employees. Not like a Howard Stern show employee. This is somebody who worked at his house and worked for he and his wife. And they were she was supposed to run like this cat rescue that Howard's wife is in charge of. She was supposed to, manage the home. Like they asked this person to do a lot. And apparently the Sterns were horrible bosses. Then they fired her, and this big drama and this big mess happens, and now she's suing them. Now, anytime someone starts coming out about how terrible things were and how they're going to sue after they were fired, that's a little iffy to me. But Howard Stern's ex-employee is suing the shock jock for a staggering $2.5 million in damages. See, like if I'm Howard Stern, I go, really? That's all? How about I give you 1.25 and we call this a day? Like, how about we? But I guess then you kind of have to admit, well, maybe they don't feel they did anything wrong. According to court documents exclusively obtained by Page Six, Leslie Kuhn, stop it, the former executive assistant to Howard and his wife Beth, filed the documents on Sunday. It states that Howard, 72, has yet to respond to her lawsuit. As Page Six reported earlier this month, Kuhn, who managed the Stearns Hamptons mansion, oh, you poor thing, sued the couple for allegedly creating a hostile work environment. And, this is the United States where, everything is lawsuit happy. And there's just certain words, hostile work environment. Oh, well, that shouldn't be enough to get money. Creating a hostile work environment. Like, specifically what? Like, there's a lot of things that based on your own fucking head could be considered a hostile working environment. Like, let's say your boss makes fun of you for being crippled all the time. I don't think that's necessarily hostile. According to what if you're secretly gay and you don't feel comfortable coming out around your boss because he makes a lot of crude gay jokes? Is that a hostile work environment, or are we all just having fun? That's my question. What if you make your boss block people in the chat for mentioning that they seem like they're on drugs? Like that, I don't think that's a hostile working environment. Howard's production company allegedly sent Kuhn a letter in December of 2025 stating that she would be getting a raise to $265,000 a year, nice, and an $80,000 bonus, nice. That's $345,000 in 2026. She hit the goal. But in February, she was allegedly fired. Uh-oh, what'd you steal? Howard counts as gold, Kuhn alleged that she faced immense pressures on the household created by irresponsible and untenable animal rescue and fostering operations occurring on site. Per the documents, Kuhn allegedly witnessed massively disorganized and questionable business operations and accounting practices. Oh, boy. Ooh. You know what she's doing? By saying questionable business operations and accounting practices, then as part of her lawsuit, they can tell Howard, we're going to crack open your books in discovery. And she knows where to hit Howard. Howard doesn't like talking about how much money he makes, doesn't like talking about how much money he has. As a matter of fact, back in 2000, Howard Stern was going to run for mayor of New York, but they told him he had to disclose his financials, and he shut it down and said, I don't want to run anymore. He's that Jewish about how much money he makes or how much money he has. So this woman knows that, and she goes, well, it was a hostile work environment. I had to run all the organizations, but it was totally disorganized, and there were questionable business operations and accounting practices. Well, I mean, if the judge decides this lawsuit can go forward, Howard, we need to have a look at your books to see if that's true. Howard will settle that shit in a heartbeat. You would think at 72 years old, who gives a fuck if people know how much money you have? Right? I can understand it 40. Like Howard's big thing was if people find out how much money I have, I'll never be able to hire a plumber because they'll hit me up for too much money. It's like, dude, you think people are going to come out to a mansion in the Hamptons and go, ooh, I bet you this guy's only clearing $80,000 a year? No, they can do the math. They're doing a toilet job in the Hamptons where John Bon Jovi lives. They know you've all got money. I think he's just being kind of Yiddish about the whole thing. The contract, she claimed also in the filing that Howard's production company presented her with the non-disclosure agreement, which she denies ever signing. Kuhn asked that the court make the NDA unenforceable as it does not allow her to speak freely about her employment and termination. Here's the problem. Like NDAs, a lot of times they say they're not worth the paper they're printed on, because they're unenforceable. And a lot of them, when you do, you just have to have the money to challenge them in court. And a lot of people don't. But NDAs aren't really enforceable because they're considered too broad. But in this case, I mean, don't sign the fucking thing. Don't take the job. First of all, don't take a job that has an NDA attached when you interview. That seems shady to me. The contract allegedly banned Kuhn from disclosing business affairs, as well as Howard and Beth's personal affairs, down to trivial details like their restaurant preferences and sleeping arrangements. Uh-oh, somebody doesn't want to sleep with the stinky old man anymore. Somebody wants to sleep in her own bed away from the wrinkled sack of bones. Kuhn's lawyer, John J. Leonard, claimed in an exclusive interview with Page Six last week that his client is being, quote, entirely muzzled. Hot, fun. Which we don't think is a fair power differential, especially given the fact that as an employee, she is, at a distinct disadvantage in terms of influence and resources. The attorney added that Kuhn is a very strong person. I don't want to say she's taking it in stride, but she's absolutely faring it well, the lawyer said. She understands this is the road that you're on when you speak truth to power and when you try to assert your rights against someone who is, exceptionally more powerful than you. I'm sure that, Howard and Beth have a fuckload of money, and I'm sure that it's at 72 years old, I wouldn't doubt that a guy doesn't keep his books as clean as he used to. I mean, is that, of the time you have left, is that really the way you want to spend it? Like lauding over your books, lauding over your bank statements and shit like that. At 72 years old, come on, enjoy it while you got it, I would say. $1 from numero uno Josh Denny fan says, how much money do you have in savings, investments, and checking? Ooh, I would have to add that up. I don't like official number. I can look, you're proving a point that, why would Howard say that? Why would Howard want to talk to people about it? It's uncomfortable. I get that. I understand that. What I'm saying is I also don't bring people into my house and have them run my books and sign them to NDAs. It's one thing to hire someone, put them in charge of your money, and then go, I don't want to talk about money. It's like, well, then run it yourself at that point. Das Optic Nerve says $3. Yeah, I got $20. I can, I don't know. In a pinch, I guess I could break a 10 for you. I don't mean to brag, but I think I could probably break a 10. I'm just kidding. I'm a millennial. We don't carry cash. McLuck says, who's good with money? I don't know, McLuck. Who? Who's really good with money? Occam Cutlass becoming a member for 14 months. Thank you very much. Says Robin Quivers is suing him. Oh, her name is Kuhn. Oh, God. I was reading that the whole way through and I just got it. What a dipshit. Kraken Slappin says, I have 567. Congratulations. Congratulations. Nice work. 9/11 Swim says Granny claimed to be the penetrating party in his homosexual ordeal. Oh, thank God we went back to that. 9/11 Swim is a freak. 9/11 Swim has been watching us talk about Trump as Jesus, talk about the Pope, talk about this Howard Stern thing, waiting. Just waiting, sitting his ass down and just waiting, like, when can I get this back to the granny thing? And he's like, Aaron, I sense that you're running out of steam on the Trump thing. Why, that I am. Did you know that Granny fucked the trans person? All right, now wait a minute. Did he penetrate a butthole or a vagina? That's what I need to know. Was this a person who was born with female parts and identifies as male, or the other way around? Because if he was putting it in a vagina, that's, even if that person has stubble and shit, I mean, it's still a pussy, right? This is not a conversation I wanted to have tonight. God, goodness gracious, I should say. Does that count as a check swing, or did I go? Oh, no, this is Granny. Oh, Granny, no. Oh, Granny, don't. This is our Granny? Do you think he still has that $150 I gave him? Oh, he's wearing the old Steel Toe Twitch t-shirts, the Bits and Subs shirt. Yes! Another win for the toe. Granny butt-fucked a trans person wearing my old Twitch merch. That's a dub. Ring it up. Steel Toe dub. He's kept that thing in good shape. Those did not hold together famously, as I remember. I think I've got a couple Bits and Subs shirts in the storage room there. I think I got a couple of bits and subs still left. OG Anonymous Fake Dono with $10. Thank you. Says, missed the show open. Why are you dressed like a bartender working at a Radisson Inn during the late 90s? I had court today. We got that final hearing scheduled. I'm so happy about that. It was a good day. I'm on the good guy side in that one, so it's always nice being on that side of things. So all right, fine, I'll play it. Here's Gran. We'd better hit the goal tonight, I'll tell you that much, because I'm going to play Granny's teeth are just... Can I say this, though? Like, I hear that Granny, like, he's in a shed now and he poops in a cooler. And that's all, like, rough and tumble. I get it. But, like, and I'm sure he's probably still drinking and whatnot, but, like, he does look happy in an odd way. Like, his teeth look disastrous. His stubble is unkempt. He looks like a lot of people at Hackamania, you can smell this still shot. But he does look happy. And that could be the drinking, like his eyes are completely bloodshot. But he looks almost whimsical, wistful, if you will.
Had some pretty
intense sex. Cupcake and Latanya were looking for you while they're on stage.
Tell us about it. What did we do?
What'd you do? Tell us about it. We heard you had some pretty intense sex.
I did what I said I was going to do for the money allotted.
Which was?
I don't think I need to talk about that with the party.
Did you put your penis in a transsexual person?
Yes.
This is what happens when you leave the saving light of the Toe Boys. Shit like this happens. Oh, no. Now, my question is, what was the trans person? Was the trans person an M to F or an F to M? Again, I guess not that it matters that much, but call it morbid curiosity. $1 from Dan Vicious says, thought you were doing a Joaquin Phoenix Joker thing with the suit. No, this is what I wore to court today. My attorney thought it looked nice, and the black guy at Halberstad's, when I was going in to get my 8th tie clip, he's like, damn, you look nice. Thanks, man. I got $8,000. Chad Buzamok says, I would say possibly the toe led him to that life. I didn't. I swear. Don't listen to Buzamok. He rapes goats. That's not true. That I take that back immediately. Cease and desist. He doesn't rape goats. He always asks for permission. $2 from No Pen 15 Fathead says, what's next? Granny going to buy a Tahoe? Oh, that's not even a shot at me. That's a really mean shot. Speaking of really mean shots, Taste Fairy Ialto says, is that suit from the Jordan Peterson collection? Well, listen here, bucko. I can't do a Jordan Peterson. You got crabs and lobsters, and they're running around trying to make you a man, and here you are just messing up your bedroom. I can't do I'm sorry. Chad Buzamok says, I believe they refer to themselves as men still. So it was a female to male transition. Maybe. That could be it. All right. Let's I'm sorry. I'm just looking. Be More Lentz is calling Granny a homeless David Spade. When did Granny become a trucker hillbilly? From what I hear, you've got to apologize to trucker hillbillies for saying that. Electric Shoes says, great free advertising for your show will really attract the right kind of audience. Yeah, thank you, Granny, for the advertisement in Nevada. Can't tell you how happy I am. On a Wall with $1 says Alyssa Clips is currently the 9th most hyped video. Good job, Alyssa. Nice work. All right, guys, hit like, hit subscribe, and hit follow. Now we're going to talk about Eric Swalwell. By the way, 297. Did we hit 300 tonight and I missed it? Oh, no. 296. Keep hitting like. Keep spreading the word. 301. There we go. 300 for the toe. Now the next step. Let's hit the goal. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Thank you guys so much for the support. Appreciate it. Let's get a golden shower going, the whole 9 yards. I got cups on cups. All right, Eric Swalwell. This story kept developing throughout the night, throughout the day. So when it came about over the weekend that a video came out where he was, I don't know if he was gangbanging a hooker with his buddies in a hotel room or what the deal was, but Martin Shkreli, the pharma bro, had a video that came out over the weekend of Eric Swalwell kissing an alleged sex worker. Now, Eric Swalwell has been married for a decade, which is really interesting to me because I always thought that Eric Swalwell was the gay one. Like it was him and Pete Buttigieg, that they were the gay guys in the Democratic Party. Apparently, Eric Swalwell's straight. And in order for him to prove to us he's straight, he had to essentially blow up his entire life. You know, like me. And people are still on the fence. So this video came out. Then a woman accused him of rape. Like rape, which I don't think you can say on YouTube. So he got accused of that. All kinds of improprieties. And then there's the stuff with the Chinese spy, Chung Li or whatever. And Congress is going to open an investigation, an ethics investigation into Congressman Eric Swalwell. So much so that he has dropped out of the governor's race in California. Well, now, as of 4:40, so an hour, 20 minutes before we went on the air this evening, Eric Swalwell has resigned from Congress amid his numerous scandals. I would say more than one scandal. He's stepping down from Capitol Hill and he's owning up to past mistakes while blasting what he calls a rush to judgment in Washington. In a statement announcing his resignation, he posted to X. Swalwell apologized to his family, staff, and constituents for what he described as mistakes in judgment, but made it clear he's not backing down from a separate allegation that he insists is flat out false. I'm guessing that's the rape accusation. That one you don't want to admit to. Swalwell says he plans to fight that accusation head on, but at the same time, he admitted the controversy has become a distraction he doesn't want hanging over the people he represents. Well, and you're going to lose re-election. You're going to lose your governor's campaign. Like, you're going to be out on your ass anyway. Might as well go out on your own terms. The Democratic representative also took a shot at the idea of Congress fast-tracking an expulsion vote, saying kicking someone out within days of an allegation without due process is simply wrong. And I don't like Eric Swalwell at all. I think he's a worm, but he's not wrong about that one. You can't just hear an accusation and then a week later go, hey, get the fuck out of here. And also, like, before Republicans go, yeah, fucking, he's gone and shit. Like this is a liberal district. They're just going to pick another lefty. You might even get worse than Swalwell. He says he wants to ensure his constituents aren't caught in the crossfire, which is why he's choosing to resign instead of digging in for a prolonged battle. He'll spend the next few days working with his staff to ensure a smooth transition. Smooth transition in California usually doesn't mean that same thing. Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, and some of Swalwell's staff have been calling for him to step down from the race for California governor after a former staffer spoke to CNN and said she went to a bar with Swalwell and blacked out. She says parts of that night are still fuzzy, but claims she clearly remembers a moment when Swalwell was on top of her. She claims she tried to push him away, but alleges he continued anyway. Swalwell flatly denied all of the accusations. Now, I hate to, the National Organization of Women is going to hate me for this, but I don't think that should be enough to convict a guy. I really don't. Like, it's just a story. Oh, we were out. We drank a bunch. I blacked out. But I'm pretty sure I woke up at one point and he was on top of me. And I told him no. And then I passed out. Like, He may very well have done what you're accusing him of, but like innocent until proven guilty, taking away a man or woman's freedom that's, I don't know. Honestly, I think you're going to need more than that. Maybe you don't. $2 from No Pen 15 Fathead says, before we jump to conclusions, what was the victim wearing? It's not. I don't think that's the question we're supposed to ask at this time. Dan Vicious with $1 says it's about narrowing the California governor field so Democrats have a chance against the Republican candidates in the open primary. Oh, yeah, I forgot. California's got that really fucked up voting system where like everybody runs all at once. And then if nobody gets over 50%, they have a runoff. So it could be like you could have 3 Democrats facing each other. Let's see. How does California's governor vote work? All candidates for voter-nominated office are listed on one ballot, and only the top 2 vote getters in the primary, regardless of party preference, go to the end. I kind of like that, and I kind of hate that at the same time. You know? I kind of like that everybody runs all at once, and you just grab the 2 most popular. Because then, but a state like California, that's usually going to be 2 Democrats, I feel like. Adam Simon with $1.99. Thank you very much, Adam Simon. Appreciate that, buddy. Hey, in the next 30 minutes, this actually isn't going to be a lot. This is not going to be an impressive number I'm about to throw at you. Can we get 5 memberships in the next 30 minutes? That would rule. That would be awesome. Small ask from the old toe here. Byron Granger says it was Fang Fang. Some of us have been screaming about him for a decade. Well, he certainly seems like a sex pest. There's no doubt about it. And like that video of him with the hookers and all that, that's not a one-time thing. Like you don't just have a picture of you on a bed with your buddies with a prostitute and like, oh no, that's the only time I ever did that. It was just one time. It got really crazy. I ain't buying it. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, gift some memberships, throw a couple of bucks our way. Fun night so far. I hope it continues. And we got up over 300. Yeah, we're almost over 300 still. But we got up over it, which I love for an evening show. Thank you guys. This morning was incredible. Tonight's good. Just a great day in general, man. Thank you guys so much. Keep it up. And let's call it a win. I will admit, I'm starting to get warm. Not like nervous. I mean, like just the layers. Shirt over the shirt, jacket, pants. I think the only thing that's keeping me in the game right now is I'm barefoot. I know someone who likes my feet. He won't delete the fucking photos of him. Christy Nome's cross-dressing husband reportedly entered a sex rehab program in January. This is kind of a hack move, if we're being honest about it. Like, every time some guy gets caught being a sex pest, I'm going to sex addiction therapy. I feel like that David Duchovny show, Californication, made that like the default that men do when they get caught being a creep. It's like, oh, you know what it is? It's sex addiction. I'm going to go to sex addiction awareness therapy. And I'm going to be better when I get out. Like my crazy idea I had this morning was like, after listening to Father Ripperger, I'm like, maybe I was possessed by a demon. That's why I kept cheating and fucking around all the time, like throughout my whole life. I'm possessed. Like it's hard to figure out what the fuck that is, or you're just a scummy hornball. Because like Father Ripperger will say that too. He goes, I know people who have been demonically possessed and they'll behave this way impulsively. They'll do this. He goes, now don't get me wrong. I've also just met people who are mentally ill. They have schizophrenia. They have a chemical imbalance, whatever. And that explains it. So, maybe we're hiding the fact that we're a complete scumbag in the sex rehab program. So apparently Brian Nome entered the sex rehab in January to treat his bimbofication addiction. But it appears Brian did not manage to complete the program from Pure Desire Ministries. Okay, wait, what the fuck is Pure Desire Ministries? This is run by a guy who's gay, right? Like secretly a gay guy, like a Ted Haggard. Healing from betrayal. Resources, summit, give. Of course, there's a give. Healing from sex addiction. Rise and Rebuild, Pure Desire Summit 2026. Thousands experience freedom and healing. 30 years of guiding Christian men and women to hope. Over 100,000 people served and thousands more yearly. A proven pathway for healing and for freedom and healing. I have a feeling that there's a lot of gay guys. There's a lot of guys and they get together and do gay shit in this. Oh, freedom from affairs. Wow. Freedom from chat rooms. I won't have to talk to you fuckers anymore if I take this class. That'd be funny. I go in there. They're like, what is your desire? I just don't want Chad Buzamok to call me a faggot anymore. What? So you have a problem with gay thoughts? No, not fuck a guy in the ass gay. Just I'd say gay shit and he clips it. What do you mean he clips it? On my show. Sir, I don't think this group is for you. Stop them from calling me a homo then. Sir, this is a religious organization. Then I start talking about the Catholic Church and I start blah, blah, blah. And they're like, all right, get out, leave. We don't need you. You're a fucking embarrassment. That's just how I imagine it going. $1 from Dan Vicious says, Dems don't care about victims until they do. That's deep, bro. I need 19 more of those coming in the next 22 minutes. Let's get it going. Thank you, guys. My Lost Interest says, I would join just to hear the weird stories. Oh, right. You would get some, or maybe heckle the guys who have a totally normal sex life, but they're there I need it all the time. How often do you need it? 3 times a week. Queer. Just go there and shit on the people who are genuinely trying to get over their problems. Baba Shab says, freedom for closeted radio hosts. That's really specific. Weird. Buzamok says, I will never stop. Well, then I guess it's imperative on me to stop saying gay things. Well, to quote the Joker, it looks like you and I are destined to do this forever. I'm entering a therapy program, much needed and much overdue. 40 days, Brian confessed on January 12th to a woman he reportedly struck up a text conversation with because of her large breasts. And he's like, hey, I've got a pair too. Let me just go strap them on quick. According to screenshots Megyn Kelly showed on her podcast. Wow, Megyn Kelly's getting all the scoops. There he is. There's our big booby Brian. That fucking face, man. That is the last thing you see before someone hits you in the head with a hatchet. You see that stern face with those weird lopsided nipples. It's like, you need to be cleansed. Wham! You see, just as your consciousness fades, you see a little blood trickle right down your nose. It's the last thing you're ever going to see. And by the way, you just write that. Here's how you know that therapy isn't going to work. You just texted that to a random chick with giant tits, and that's going to... Come on. It's a men's group. Did you try anything on? No, because I just need to know what style to go with. I know what I'm wearing tomorrow for my show. What type of men's group? Recovery group. Recovery for what? Addiction. 5 of us. Those are some of the messages. Brian told a woman in January he was entering a recovery group with 4 men. Yeah, they're going to fuck each other. There's those evangelical help groups become like a spa for butt sex. A lot of that pray the gay away stuff that people go to is always run by some pastor like Ted Haggard who ends up being a butt fucker. It's just how this shit works. I appreciate the conversations we had and getting to know you better. You seem like a great person, Noam added during the exchange, in between talking about trying on breast implants. So I'm going to this class. It's going to help me a lot with my sex addiction. But before I go, do these look comically cartoonish and large? And are the nipples all right, or should I move them? No, I think it gives you character. That's what I said. Anyway, I have to get on the bus tomorrow. Pure Desire Ministries leads online and in-person groups for men who struggle with sexual addiction and compulsive sexual behaviors, who want to restore integrity to their sexual health. Well, so he was just He made an early exit, the source believes, and was soon back to his old ways. Oh, shit. So it didn't work. He still wanted to strap on his titties and talk to girls. I am entering a therapy program, much needed and much overdue, 40 days. I appreciate the conversations we had and getting to know you better. You seem like a great person. So do you, Brian. Can you strap on your big old tits one more time? So it didn't work out. Come on, Brian. He was also professing his love to a Barbie doll fetish model, who doesn't, whose lifestyle he had reportedly been bankrolling since 2020. I seem to be falling in love with you. I do love you. Now check out my new tits. The dad of three allegedly wrote in a March 10th message to OF model Nicole Ricagno, just 5 days after his wife was fired as Homeland Security Secretary, as he offered up cash to enlarge Ricagno's already enormous breasts. Boy, this guy is a tit man, that's for sure. I wonder if you're Kristi Noem, if you know about this and you just don't care because your husband's so fucking disgusting you don't want anything to do with him. Ew. At least he didn't text a 14-year-old and said he would kiss her. That would be really fucking creepy. For your information. Root says Aaron is dressed like he smokes cigars with his ass. Thank you. My Lost Interest says, honestly, he went a little too big on the boobies. Yeah. Yeah, I think they're comically large. No, I mean, look. If you're going to strap on tits as a man, I mean, at least make it believable. I mean, any man can strap on a set of titties. It's the ones that people believe are humble and in proportion enough that really makes a man a man. When a man is strapping on a big old pair of tits, just make it believable. That's all we ask. And then we won't look twice. $1 from Oz for Mayor on PayPal says, look up the I don't like black guys racist subway worker. Says the hard R and accuses the guy of human trafficking. It's funny. Sounds funny to me. Here's what I say. You guys all throw in some money and let's do that. I'll go your guys' direction. Let's do it. What does it say? Black guy's racist subway worker. Let's see. Black man encounters a crazy... Okay, this has potential. Boys and girls, this could be our clip of the night. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, throw us a couple of bucks. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. I like the way this one starts. It looks like a racist, like New Jersey Italian woman. And like a scuffed I Show Speed. And they're going to have it out at Subway.
Prove that I'm a fucking faggot, that I like your fucking nigger face? That's what you come...
Whoa, what? Wait, hold on. What? One more time. I don't think she's from here. Her racism comes from way down south. One more time.
You come here to prove that I'm a fucking faggot, that I like your fucking nigger face?
I'm so not allowed to say that anywhere. I've never heard N-word face.
This is the type of shit we do, roll up on niggas at the goddamn barbershop.
That's what you come here for? I don't like black guys. I don't like Indian guys. I like white guys.
God bless you, sweetheart. Well-dressed white guys, right? Fuck. I mean, this guy hasn't even gotten to say a word yet. He's like, can I just have a cold cut and just leave? That would be great. I'll pay an extra. I'll tip you. Just stop yelling at me, please.
Hey, get your fucking nasty phone out of my fucking face. Get your phone out of my face.
Next time, don't be racist for no reason, yeah?
Uh-oh.
I know where you're coming.
Oh, that's coming up at the end. Oh, so she ends up breaking down.
I know why you're coming here, because you like kidnapping fucking little girls.
Oh my God. She is winning stereotype bingo. Holy shit.
Kidnapping fucking little girls with your fucking black ass face. You like kidnapping girls. You like...
I mean, robbing gas stations mostly. I mean, she's being really racist. I mean, she's not even stepping it up like level by level. She's bringing out the big guns right away.
You like kidnapping girls?
How? I'm just trying to get a Subway order.
No, I know what you're doing. You're not lying to me.
Okay, cool. I've come into Subway. All I want is Subway. And
No, you don't come here for that. I know what you're doing. You're being dishonest. You're being dishonest. Go to church and pray.
What did I even
do? You are dishonest.
Is it now? Wait a minute. Look. I appreciate Oz for Mayor sending this in. I'm convinced that she's legit, but his reactions are making me think this might be a work. You know what I mean? Like his reactions are too. Either he's just a dumb guy or a shitty actor.
You like kidnapping girls into America and get your fucking.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you why this is real. No Subway would let their store be used to stage some shit like this. Like, it's just too bad of a look.
Get your phone out of my fucking face. Get your phone out of my face. Get your phone out.
Oh shit! Oh! Listen. Your race.
Whoa.
Yo! I can't. She's
now who's behaving like a monkey?
Gone mad. She's gone mad. Yo! Bro, I walked in, yeah? I literally came in to order Subway, and she's just been racist for no reason. Can you tell me, you said you don't like black people, you don't like Indians. What did I do? Yeah, she's lost her mind. I'll be real. Oh! She's lost it.
Get out! Get out!
When I came in, yeah, I literally said I wanted to order, and I asked, she looked sad. I was like, are you okay? Guys, this is the other side of America that they don't tell you about. Why can I not order a Subway?
Get out! Dude.
Why?
Just go home, dog.
What do you mean go home? Why can I not order a Subway?
It does look like she's closing up. Maybe he came in at closing time and he's just trying to purposely piss her off. Anytime someone's filming in the middle of an altercation and it's being clipped in the middle of an altercation, I always assume there's some shenanigans afoot.
I walked in and she said I'm a thief. Oh my days!
Whoa.
Oh my, I dare you. Ah! Oh shit!
And then Cook told me.
I came back 2 hours later. Okay, so it wasn't closing. And made an order and decided to make her work for no reason. All right, so now you're being a dick again.
And then can I have the cooks one more time? Welcome. When you're racist, you get worked.
So basically, $22.
Yeah. I'm not paying because you're racist.
Okay,
Yeah.
So he said he's not paying, so she took the sandwich away.
People, you get worked. Yeah, no, don't cry. Don't cry now. Don't cry now.
Oh, no. Oh. Look at it. Black guy made her sad. What did she ever do to you? Except she did call you the N-word once. But like outside of, well, she said you kidnap little girls. Outside of that, what did she do to you? And now you made her cry. You meanie head.
Racist, I'll make sure I work you. I wanted to order food, and she didn't let me order food. I came back now. You work for no reason. No racism is allowed. Next time, don't be racist for no reason, yeah? Please. It's not good. Yeah? Listen.
I'm just worried that all of you darkies are going to steal my children. Like she just still, even while she's crying, she will not give up the racism.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone, please.
I'm going to leave her alone now. But
oh, that's mighty whitey. She's having a nervous breakdown here in the restaurant. I'm going to leave her alone now. Wow. You're a very sympathetic figure. You both suck.
I didn't feel happy when she was racist to me for no reason. I came in here and I wanted to order my food. She called me a nigger and she said that I kidnap kids. She's mad. Listen, we got her back. Chat. We're finding racist people.
Is this Miami? Miami's turning into a shithole because of all these streamers now too. Like it's just turning into like you just look at you watch that Manosphere documentary and they go to Miami and that and you're just like, oh fuck, it's just these obnoxious people filming TikToks and stuff. It's not for us olds. That's a young folks city right there. Holy, I mean, she was racist, isn't it? Damn. Richard Head says she's not wrong. MSO says, Aaron, how much to burn that tie? There's nothing. This tie is fine. I don't need to burn it. I didn't need to go flashy with my tie. I just wanted a regular tie today. That's all. And I thought this was just fine. All right, guys. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. 283 checking out the toe right now. But we're a long ways away from that goal, and we want to have a perfect start to the week. So go ahead and throw a couple of bucks in. We appreciate it. Our boy Clav got pressed by 60 Minutes last night, and he walked out on the interview. That's because, like, the mainstream media sees Clavicular, and they, like, take him seriously. And they're like, we're going to show this kid. See this guy? It's like he takes meth, he does test injections, he smashes his face and breaks his bones so his face will look better. And 60 Minutes is like going to put a feather in their cap by like showing that kid that they know more about geopolitics than he does? What are you going to make him do? Point out Iran on a map? Ugh, all right, let's watch. So 60 Minutes wanted to talk to Clavicular about looks maxing and all that stuff. And they end up going into incels and Andrew Tate and that night they had at that Miami nightclub and all that shit. Let's take a look and let's see how Clavicular handles himself. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, and throw a couple of memberships our way or a couple of bucks. We appreciate it.
Was born out of the incel community and movement. And do you identify with that group? How do you feel about being linked to that group of people?
It's not, I'll say this, it's not an unfair question. He is, I mean, that looks maxing shit is linked to some incel stuff. Although the whole point of the looks maxing is to like level up your looks and then it's easier to get girls. But you shouldn't be listening to this crazy autistic drug addict. And like, when I say crazy autistic drug addict, I don't mean that as a euphemism. He hits himself in the head. He does meth. And he's got cold black eyes, lifeless eyes, like a doll's eyes.
Do I identify as an incel? I mean, how could you ask me that question?
I love puss, man. I get puss every night. Smash puss. I'm the puss crushing machine.
As a follow-up, after you asked me about my relationships to women, I mean, that's quite literally the worst sequence of questions I think I've ever heard.
Nice. You know what, Clav? Good work, kid. I like it. That was good work by Clavicular. It is retarded, though. Like, you're like, hey, you get a lot of pussy? Psh, yeah, bro, I get a lot of pussy. All right, cool. Do you think you're an incel? Shut up.
Well, let me rephrase it then. Looks maxing was obviously a term created by the incel community. How do you feel about being linked to that group?
I'm not linked to that group in any way. Looks maxing is self-improvement, right? So it's about potentially even ascending out of that category. And so that would be kind of one of the goals, is to disassociate from being an incel and overcome that. So that doesn't make sense.
You know what? I'm sorry. I know I ironically like Clavicular most of the time. I'm actually on his side on this one. And I think it's just because the media is so fucking hateable and they're gross and smug like this shithead that I actually kind of like Clavicular in this one. Because Clav is going like, I'm not an incel. Like the whole thing about looks maxing is about improving your looks so you can get more pussy. Like it's the opposite of being an incel. Where an incel is like, fuck, I don't give a shit what I look like. Girls are gay anyway. And then this guy's just sitting there being smug, being like, yes, but this came out of the incel community. And like, I hate him a lot more than I hate Clavicular.
You also maintain, well, you've been seen with certain people who are from all parts of that world. I mean, just as an example, you've obviously shared company with Andrew Tate and other, dare I say, rather controversial figures.
Didn't they hang out one time? Wasn't that like a one-time hangout sort of a deal? I don't know if it's like you pal around with Andrew Tate.
Why do you spend time with people like that?
Are you trying to... I see you want to make this political.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm just curious.
No, that's what you want to do. Is
no.
You know you have
not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
This guy's a douche. Like, I really do hate this fucking guy. Like, I don't give a shit that Clavicular's a weirdo or anything like that. This guy's a cunt. He's a limey. No, he's not limey. He's a down under cunt. He's cunt thunder from down under. It's the smug look and the shitty smile. And this is why I like watching Channel 5 News. This is why I like Andrew Callahan. He respects the people he interviews. This guy's just like Andrew Tate. And you know what I like about Clav? He's getting like kind of media savvy, except for the whole mag dumping on an alligator. He's getting kind of media savvy where he can see where the questions are going, and he kind of cuts them off at the pass. He's like, oh, Andrew Tate, this is going to get political. I'm good, thanks. No, it wasn't going to be political. Oh, yeah? What was your follow-up question? Do you think that movement is based in white national... Fuck. All right, fine.
You want to end it and talk about...
Well, I'm just curious. No, not at all. I don't care about your politics. I know you're not political. You've said that repeatedly.
And why would you ask about Andrew Tate, who like his whole thing is being political?
I'm just when you get seen with those people, obviously people make assumptions. I'm wondering what
No, I hate that shit too. Don't say some people. Don't say some people make assumptions. You're making an assumption. Own your shit, you fucking media stooge. Oh, obviously, when you hang around with people like that, you know, people draw a conclusion. No, you drew a conclusion. Own your shit. Ask your question. Like most people, if you say Andrew Tate, like most people in the real world will go, who the fuck is Andrew Tate? Is he a boxer? Is he like a football player, Andrew Tate? I don't know.
Thought process and motivation for you is behind.
Interview. I guess you watched the Piers interview.
I did, yeah.
Too bad I didn't have time to look into, anything about potentially, who your wife cheated with, but don't try to go down that line of questioning with me. All right.
He really is a cold, dead-eyed sociopath. That's kind of what I like about him. He's like, it's too bad I didn't have time to look into who your wife's cheating with or what your deepest, darkest secrets are. So maybe you don't want to go down that road with me. It's like, it's like, you know what? There's something about that. Like most of the time when that comes from a 20-year-old, I'm like, shut the fuck up, kid. But actually coming from this guy, you're like, I feel like you would.
Right. Because I'm not doing any political.
I'm not married, Clav, but I was simply only asking because obviously you've been filming with these people.
So I could teach you about looks maxing then. Maybe you could switch that up. But thanks for the time. Appreciate the interview. All right. All right. Got that done? Yes.
You know what? No, good for him because I hate this guy. I don't know who this guy is, but he's no Leslie Stahl. He's no... Who else was on 60 Minutes? I was going to say, who's that old fucking guy, but that doesn't really help. Who's the black guy? Ed, not Dick Gregory. That's a different... Oh, shit. Anyway, good for Clavicular. I'd have walked out on that shithead, too. Oh, Andy Rooney was on 60 Minutes. The black guy. Come on. He was on there forever. He's not... I think he's dead now. He was old as shit. By the way, we're 1:15 away from getting home tonight. I don't think we're getting there at the pace we're going. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. You know, Thursday always kind of washes everything away. But let's get down there as best we can. We got over 300 people for a big chunk of the night tonight. So I'd like to also notch a win. I've had a very good day today. Like to wrap it up with an evening show dub. So if we could gift a few 5 memberships, if we gift a membership at a time, let's get after it. Thank you guys. All the links are in the chat. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. Thank you. People are guessing, and it's just not working out. No, not George Floyd. Not Petey Green. No, not Bill Cosby. Well, you see, you smash your face with the hammer, and then you do a bunch of meth, and then we can fuck a couple of passed out girls. Hold on, let me see. Ed Gregory? I think Ed Gregory. I think I got it. Nope, that's some fucking white guy. All right. Who was the old black guy on 60 Minutes? Ed Bradley, fuck me running. There we go, Ed Bradley. No, not N-word Jim Sam Show. It was definitely not N-word Jim. For God's sake. Thank you, Death Row. Death Row 99 says Ed Bradley. Gift that man a membership. for his kindness. Oh yeah, Morley Safer, Mike Wallace. They were all on 60 Minutes. Dan Vicious with $1 says, here's a $5 IOU. I love, those are my favorite kind of IOUs. Thank you very much. Now somebody just throw us a $100 for fulfilled IOU, and I'll feel really good about tonight. All right, we do have one quartering clip. See, now this is the kind of shit I want to see people cover about the quartering. You know, watching about his neighbor or his wife or anything like that, I really don't give a shit about any of that stuff. Do not care at all. It seems a little invasive. But if you've got a clip of Jeremy from the quartering looking like a retard, I'm all for it. So the quartering's whole gimmick is like he knows politics, right? And he knows that these lefties are all garbage and the right wing's the way to go. And he's one of those guys, like his whole strategy is he sees Trump like losing support amongst the Tuckers and all that. He's going to be one of the guys swimming against the stream, and he's going to like totally suck Trump's balls. He's going to blow Trump all day long on his show. And that's like, he's like, hey, it's less crowded in the sucking Trump's dick genre of entertainment. I'll jump in and I'll get more of the shaft, right? So that's what the quartering's idea is. So he's going to simp for Trump in Iran and this whole Straits of Hormuz thing. The only problem is, once you decide you're going to talk about politics and the Straits of Hormuz, there's a really important thing you need to remember. And that is where the Straits of Hormuz are. So if we see, here's America, right? Over here is Japan. Over here is the Middle East. And we got this little strait right in here, right in this area there. See, like there's the Black Sea or the Caspian Sea right there. And then we got these little straits. We got these little pockets in here where the shipping comes in. And Jeremy, remember, this is the area Jeremy needs to be in, is right in this little, if he's anywhere near this little horseshoe area, he's good to go. Let's see where Jeremy, oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't showing you guys. I apologize. We want to be right in here. All right, that's where Jeremy wants to be for the Straits of Hormuz. Let's see how he does.
You know, the holding pattern was.
Mm-hmm.
So if we go,
Jeremy, that's Vietnam. That's French Indochina that you're looking at now. That is not the Straits of Hormuz.
Into Southeast Asia. Look, he's in Indonesia and Australia, for fuck's sake. Chair, look at Hannah's face.
Wait, go back. No, Jeremy, go back. So, right, you see it? Right in there? Right in there is where Jeremy wants to be. Right. See, now we have the Suez Canal up here, and that's going to come down through the Persian Gulf and all that. And we're going to want to go right there for the Suez Canal, or we got the Suez Canal, and then you got the Straits of Hormuz right here. It's nowhere near fucking old Indochina.
Indonesia and Australia, for fuck's sake. Chair, look at Hannah's face.
See, like, this is more embarrassing than the bull and the wife and all that drama shit. Finding out Jeremy is retarded on the actual thing he's supposed to be good at.
Bro, he's in South America.
The Strait of Hormuz. Is it?
Bro, you're in the Atlantic Ocean, bro. You're not even close. You're not even to Madrid yet, homeboy. You're not even in Gibraltar. You're not in the Straits of Gibraltar. You need to be in the Straits of Hormuz. We haven't even gotten to Gibraltar yet, homie. We haven't even entered the Mediterranean. You got to go through the Straits of Gibraltar. You got to go through the Suez Canal. You got to go around the Persian Gulf. Then you can get into the Straits of Hormuz. Jeremy.
No, it's not here. I got to zoom out more.
That's the Atlantic Ocean. That's the Atlantic Ocean. You're in the wrong fucking hemisphere, you mongoloid.
What is he looking for? What's the thing called?
I couldn't. He's looking for Iran. He doesn't. He's not even. Buddy, are you fucking retarded?
All right, now wait a minute. In fairness, I think the only fair thing to do here is for PPP to ask Worski with no preparation, Worski, would you please point to Iran on this map? And then if Worski can go, if Worski can find Iran on a map, then they can laugh at Jeremy. But dude, you can't be like, my channel's a politics channel. I talk about politics and that's what I specialize in. All this drama shit is gay. And then you're like, all right, let's pull up map of the earth. Here we go. Let's go. This one's perfect. Let's do this. So if we pull up this map and we go, all right, guys, this is what we do on this show. By the way, thank you, My Lost Interest, for gifting a membership. Very nice. 110 away from tonight. Let's see if we can bang it out. Let's say I go, all right, guys, we talk about foreign events and politics on this channel. And today we're going to talk about that war that's still going on in Ukraine between Russia. Hold on. Let me find Russia here. It's somewhere in the, it's got to be over. Fuck, where'd it go? It's the big fucker that says Russia on it, aren't we? Like, you can't, if that's going to be your thing, you got to be like, all right, so the Russians are invading here. You see Crimea down here. The Russians have that now. That should be green, not yellow. And they've occupied this. They're coming up through this corridor here in Crimea. And then they're also invading the Donbass region, which is down here in kind of the southeastern part of Ukraine. And they're invading there. And that's kind of where the lines have stabilized. There's this little jut, this bulge that Russia's made into Ukraine. And they've taken the Donbass region. The lines have stabilized there. And Russia's trying to protect that. All right. See, now, that's how you be a channel that talks about that shit and tells people what's going on. By the way, did you see the videos online? They're all over the place. Of the Ukrainian army is like pressing civilians into service. Like the war is going so poorly for Zelensky in Ukraine, and Trump hasn't ended the fucking thing yet, that the military literally goes out on the streets and grabs military-aged men and just throws them on a truck and gets them ready for the front lines. There's quite a few videos of this. Especially if you go on X. It is not, like, we don't talk about it. It's never discussed. But it's going really poorly for Ukraine. Let's see. Ukraine soldier abduction. Let's see if we... Yeah, here's one of them. So the military is just going around grabbing people up and pressing them into service. Do you remember when this war first started and you had the Azov battalion, which they're literally Nazis, and they have swastikas on their uniforms, and the Biden administration told Ukraine, like, hey, we need to talk to this Azov battalion. We can't be giving them money because our people have found out they wear swastikas and that looks kind of fucked up. So let us talk to the Azov battalion. And we were like, hey, Azov battalion, we're giving your country a shitload of money to fight this war. And they're like, thank you. That's very nice. And we're like, all right, do you think you could not wear the swastikas? Because we're paying you money and we'd like you to not wear the swastikas. Well, that's fine, but I have to say, go fuck yourself. We wear swastikas here. All right. What are we going to do, Jeff? Are we going to withhold the money? No, we already made an agreement that the Jew dictator gets the money. So they're dragging men off to war. And also, do you really want a pussy like that fighting for you? I mean, come on. He's laying down. He's trying to dead weight you. They're literally throwing him into a panel van, for God's sake. The military is grabbing people in the street and throwing them in vans and sending them to the, like, Donetsk region or the Donbass region. The fuck? And there's a bunch of those. Like, if we scroll down, there's that one. There's, oh no, if you click on this one, you'll see others where they're just dragging people out. Ya Sibya! Ya Sibya! Yeah, here's more where they're going. Yep. Come on, you're gonna go fight. Come on, bitch. Oh God, they got a gun. Oh, they're pistol whip. What the fuck? Yeah, they're not fucking around in Ukraine. And remember, guys, those are the good guys in this war. We're siding with the good guys in this one. Thank you very much. My Lost Interest gifting that membership to Death Row 99. We need a little breathing room here. We need to get down into those double digits before it's rally time to see if we can have a comfortable night here. Hit like, hit subscribe, and if you're feeling generous for tonight's show, throw a couple bucks our way. All the links are in the chat: Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. Let's go. Some of you are going to like this next story, and I know why, and it's disgusting to me. But first, Bapa Shab says, this is what happens to your people when Jews take over. You are fodder now. Enjoy. He's not a nice man. That Zelensky, I mean, to say that he's the good guy. I mean, remember when Biden was giving them all this money, and we're still giving them a shitload of money and weapons. But remember when we were like, well, we're funding them because we're on the side of democracy. Did you know that Zelensky has shut down all elections until after the war is over? Because if they had elections in Ukraine, a couple of things would happen. One, the people would vote out Zelensky. And number two, the people of the Donbass would vote to either become Russian or their own country. And Russia would love to either absorb the Donbass or have a buffer state between them and Ukraine and NATO. So either way for Russia, it would work out. But if you give the people of Ukraine a choice, they'd probably kick out Zelensky, who we staged a coup to help install. And they would probably also, if we let them vote, the Donbass would say, yeah, we're out. We're good. I mean, because they all speak Russian as it is. They're all a Russian-speaking people. Bapa Shab says he also banned Russian Orthodox Christianity and replaced it with a phony state church. Whoa. Zelensky bans Orthodox Church. On August 24th, 2024, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky signed a law that bans the activities of religious organizations affiliated with the Russian Orthodox Church. The law is specifically targeted at the Ukrainian Orthodox Church of the Moscow Patriarch, which officials in Kyiv have accused of maintaining ties to Russia and supporting the ongoing invasion. What a fucking dick. That's like 2 years after the war started. The move is supported by a majority of Ukrainians. Oh, shit. Critics, including some human rights organizations, have raised concerns that the law is too broad and could violate freedom of religion and human rights. Yeah, welcome to wartime dictators. That's how it works. Historically White says, how have you not heard any of this? Well, I've heard a lot of this. I didn't know the Orthodox Church one, though. Yeah, I mean, and you know, the Catholic Church has some ties to the Orthodox Church. I mean, there was the Great Schism in 1054 or whatever, but like, I still would side with the Orthodox Church. They don't deserve to be kicked out of their fucking home just because, you know, the leaders wanted to. I mean, and look, just because their leaders wanted to provoke a war with Russia. Puck says this is worse than not knowing the straight. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I'll have to take the L on that one. That's for sure. All right. A lot of you are going to like this next story. I'm asking you not to, but I think you will. 110. Away from tonight, we are not looking good. We are not looking solid here this evening. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a rally before the rally music plays. An unmarried couple who had sex received an agonizing 100 lashes in Indonesia as part of a Sharia law group caning punishment, which saw one woman whipped until she fell unconscious. Yeah, they don't fuck around. So Indonesia is the biggest Muslim country in the world. It's got the largest Muslim population of anywhere on earth. And they definitely want to diminish slutitude wherever they see it. First of all, I've always wondered this about these countries. How do they know you're fucking? Like, they're like, oh, you two are not married and you're living immorally and you're having sex and everything else. Like, if you don't tell them, how do they know? And do I really want to know the answer to that question? A couple were publicly flogged in Indonesia today for having sex outside of marriage in the country's only region to apply a version of Sharia law. The man and woman, whose ages were not disclosed, were each given 100 lashes with a rattan cane in a public park in Banda Aceh as dozens watch. Yeah, that's the other thing. People gather around and they're like, oh, there's a caning today? It's like a soccer game for them. You know, they're like, all right, let's see how it goes. You know, like a WWE hardcore match. We implement Islamic law in Aceh. See, I feel like if the Sandman from ECW needed money or Tommy Dreamer needed a payday, you could go be a canesman in Indonesia. We implement Islamic law in Aceh, so whenever someone violates it, we have to carry out punishments like the caning we just conducted, said Rajesh Khanna. Well, at least his name's Khanna, an official from the local prosecutor's office. Sexual relations between unmarried people are outlawed in Aceh, and they knew that, and they still bumped uglies, these rotten whores. Police flogged the pair with a rattan cane. According to a reporter at the scene, they were among 6 flogged on Tuesday. 4 others received between 8 and 29 strokes each for offenses such as having physical contact with a member of the opposite sex or drinking alcohol. God, those canesmen look rugged. They look intimidating too. Ironically wearing basically brown Klan hoods. Oh, wow. They've got some bend to them too. So that means they give you a good snap. When they hit, you get that flick, that whap. Shit. She's not happy. This guy. It's the anticipation like that where you're just kind of arching your shoulder blades back. You're like, fuck, this is going to suck. And then whap. That first one hits you and fuck me. A woman who was sentenced to 27 lashes fainted at the last whip of the rattan stick. All right, look, I'm going to give her credit. She lasted longer than I would. 27. She had to be treated by paramedics. Caning retains strong support. Take that bag of monkey shit to the infirmary. Caning retains strong support in Aceh to punish a range of offenses that include gambling and gay sex. Based. In January, Sharia police in Aceh caned an unmarried couple 140 times each. Likely the severest punishment since Sharia law was implemented in the province in 2015. That means in this province, until 2015, they didn't feel like they needed to whip whores. But then I guess the sluttiness got so out of control that they're like, if we don't cane these bitches, like, how are they going to learn? The woman fainted after enduring her brutal punishment and was escorted to an ambulance. In total, the pair received the 140 lashes, 100 for sex outside of marriage, and 40 for consuming alcohol. Wow. So they do not fuck around in Aceh. I would like to see what the crime rate is there. Just so we, look, I just want to make comparisons. That's all. My Lost Interest says, Aaron, stay in Minnesota. Yeah, I do, dude. I would not do well in Aceh. I would get my ass caned for sure. Aaron will take his whippings and like it. Then again, he thought whipping was of the cream kind. Oh, shit. Do I have to get my tickets refunded? Shit. Would you like a whipping? I mean, as long as it's Cool Whip, like, and not generic brand shit. I mean, I can taste the difference, pal. 09 Canyon says vandalism and stealing road signs, according to Google. Who the fuck is... You know what? If you're dumb enough to steal a road sign, you should get caned. Honestly. A cane... Yeah, I'm okay with that. What a useless thing to do. Steal a road sign. Good. Fuck you. Hey, what do you guys know about feral hogs? Shut up. This is our last story. Then we're going to try and rally. We've made a whopping $40 tonight on the evening show. What up? The Toe's been killing it tonight. We had a very good week last week. It doesn't mean I don't want to win this week. So let's throw a couple of bucks in. Let's hit that Venmo, PayPal, Streamlabs, Venmo, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Streamlabs. I did the order all fucked up. Rumble Rants, gifted memberships. Please and thanks. We appreciate it. Dude, feral hogs are no joke. Like, you think like, oh, they're little piggies like Charlotte's Web. Feral hogs will rip your ass apart, son. You don't want them roaming around your neighborhood. Check this shit up. This is in Mesquite. Is that Oklahoma? Texas. Mesquite, Texas.
A growing problem in North Texas. They sneak in the night, putting people in danger and destroying yards. In the past few years.
Oh, yeah, they root. They'll tear up your grass. They shit all over the place. It stinks. If you come out at night and there's pigs out there, they might just rip you up.
We've seen hogs pop up in Irving, Coppell, and McKinney, really all over the place. There was even a deadly hog attack in Erath County, about an hour and a half southwest of Fort Worth. And tonight, the feral hogs are causing chaos in another city. Tonight, Tiffany Liu explains why fixing the problem in Mesquite.
Isn't it? Wait a minute. Aren't you Texas? Like, aren't you the state that is all guns? Go and fucking blow their heads off. Give a couple of rednecks some, ARs and some Jack Daniels. They'll get the job done in a weekend. They'll have your pig problem handled.
Won't be easy.
For 17 years, Ted Faulkner has loved his Falcon Lair neighborhood in Mesquite.
Peaceful neighborhood.
But the last few months are giving him second thoughts.
It's as though they are working for an excavation company.
He looks like James Earl Jones in The Sandlot. Like, George, sign this. You're not in trouble. You're dead where you stand. Oh, look at that. Terrifying.
Welcomed nocturnal solicitors.
The feral hogs.
Full-grown and babies.
They run in herds, packs of them.
They're tearing up yard after yard.
Looking for whatever they can dig
I can see so many hoof prints, and they're huge.
They seem to start in Grady Chandler's grass.
Thousands of dollars of grass, and yes.
David Chandler. Oh, my
God.
God.
He lives just behind the feral hogs shelter.
That area right there, yeah.
Is this wooded area.
Dude, send a couple of rednecks in there with explosive charges. You won't have a feral hog problem anymore. I think it's in Oklahoma, or it might be in Texas. They go out like in helicopters and they shoot pigs from helicopters.
That is not fenced in.
It is also impacting, city property. We have a reserve out there for a park pavilion that they've also been in.
The city of Mesquite says it's not equipped to manage the wild pigs, but is partnering with Texas Parks and Wildlife to remove them.
We've been encouraging residents to be proactive in treating properties for grub worms. The biologist indicated to us that that's one real attractive thing to these animals is real healthy lawns because they have a really healthy reserve of grub worms within them.
This is what happens. Walker, Texas Ranger dies. It all goes to shit immediately. The pigs think they own the place. It's terrible. It's terrible. All right, thank you very much. Silver Wolf for the $1 says, if I don't steal road signs, what will I use for floorboards in my vehicles? It's a good redneck question, actually. Roots Calhoun says, really, Aaron? They shoot feral hogs from helicopters? Tell us more. They go in the helicopter, right? And then they shoot the hogs in them. That's best I can do for you. $2 from Unnerving Brain says, took my hand off my feral hog long enough to send it. All right. Okay. All right. Let's get to the rally. I see Puck needs a membership. 105 is how much we came up short tonight. Let's see if we can get that number to respectable. Let's ride the train and let's fire up Erica. And of course, the light is back. So let's fire up our rally light and let's do this thing, guys. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, gifted memberships. 105 is the number for the evening. Let's see if we can get something going, huh? We have been on a horseshoe up our ass streak the last week or so. We made a fuck ton on Thursday and Friday. We do appreciate you guys being here. But let's see if we can't let's make this competitive. 105 away. Let's all throw in 10s and 20s and gift 10 memberships. Let's go crazy. Let's get nuts. Let's look for the purple banana until they put us in the truck. All aboard! I'm going to start taking off an article of clothing for each 10 seconds that there's no money. MSO says nobody's going to throw money at a suit. Then I'm never wearing a suit on this show again. Thank you very much. Let's go. $2 from No Pen 15 Fathead says, what's the topic at Stoney's on Wednesday? Suburban birth rates and why it's a problem. That's going to be... I mean, there is no White Power Wednesday at Stoney's. Thank you for the $2. No Pen 15. Fathead, you get the first. Thank you, bud. Thank you very much for the $2. Puck says Howard Johnson wants its uniform back. That's not very nice. Bridget with $10 via Venmo says nice suit. Thank you very much. The suit got a compliment. Now we're in double digits for tonight. 95 away from a dub. Let's see if we can't do that. Thank you very much, Bridget, for the 10. Let's get another 10 in there, and then a 20, and then another 10, and then a 20, and then like 5 gifted memberships. We'll be to 0 in no time. Thank you. Oh, Bridget. Let the light grab you and let it reach into your wallet and tell you that you can add a couple of zeros to that. Raz of Chaz with $1 says, holy shit, I'm just tuning in. Looks like you had court. Did you send more text to Gino? No. I was on the good guy side of court this time. Thank you very much for the $1. About $90 away from a W tonight. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer here during our first run. And then, of course, Erica to wrap us up. And our beautiful rally light right there. Let's go. $10 from numero uno Josh Denny fan says, Toe Boys. Toe Boys indeed. 85 away from a win tonight. Uh-oh. That's like 3 more 5 gifted membership drops. Let's do it. 85 away from tonight. And a win for the Toe. Numero uno Josh Denny fan. There he is. I get my radio guy voice going during this a little bit. I'm not interviewing for a managerial gig at Red Lobster. I'm never dressing like this again. Unbanned Citizen M says Aaron's granny coverage had me dying tonight. Thank you. Give me all of your money then. If you're dying, I don't want to see it get stolen by Jews. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, 85 away from a dub. Let's see how respectable we can get tonight. All right, on to Erica. We're on to the last run. Let's go, let's go. $85 away. All of the links to click on and contribute are in the chat. Can we win? Maybe, maybe not. But we can get close. We can get within striking distance for Oz on Wednesday. Let's go, baby, let's go. 5 from Kraken Slappin' says, does your suit have pockets? What do you mean like pockets? Like in here it has pockets, and in here it has pockets. I've got a couple of pockets there. $80 away from a W. Let's see if we can get some 5s, some 10s, some 15s, some 20s, and do some damage tonight. $80 away, not bad. You know, I'm not against, look, L's happen, but under 50 is not bad. Oh, do my pants have pockets? Yes, my pants have pockets, of course. Let's go. We got our light back. Oh, shit. 97 members away from 700. There we go. Oh, and by the way, thank you very much to Kraken Slappin'. Thanks for the 5. All right, just about done. We got about 1:40 to go here. Let's see if we can't get a little more of a rally going. Oh, my shit. Something happened to Sanford's son today. He blew a gasket and decided to give all of his money to the Toe. 20 gifted memberships from Sanford's son. And we're done for the... Oh, my God.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen.
Holy shit. No, take that off. We're not. Delete that comment. We're not. We are, now we're $20 over. Thank you, Sanford's son. Numero uno with the $10. says we need a new Libto rally song. All right, well, we're $30 into tomorrow night. I think we've got like a $90 or $100 bank now. Fuck you guys. Sanford Son, thank you very much. Holy shit. What's the new rally song before we go? I got to hear. Saving that one, numero uno. Thank you very much. And thank you to Sanford Son and everybody who threw in tonight. It was truly a group effort, and it was 2s and 5s and 10s the whole way until Sanford Son decided to call game on all of it. 77 memberships from 700. Whoa. 77 from 700. Baba Shab says, okay, this is too funny. He says, you soup and a salad looking ass nigga. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. Sanford Son, you are the MVP VIP of today. Numero uno, you were incredibly generous as well. Thank you so much. We will do it again tomorrow morning. As the votes have come in, I will not wear this. I'll go back to the old shit. Take it easy, man. Have a great rest of your night. What a great week what a great start to the week for the toe. Hit like on your way out. Love you.